Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone had a good Memorial Day weekend. It's 7 a.m. on Tuesday, June 1st. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see thunderstorms with a high of 82. Coming up today on Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota, LSU head football coach Ed Orgeron stops by at 7:30, and we have a post-holiday version of Weekend Winners. Remember, we also have our OTB mailbag today, so get your questions in. Tweet them, ask them in the YouTube chat using the hashtag OTB mailbag, and we'll get them answered at 8:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN or by subscribing to our YouTube for new content every day. You can also check us out on Cox Sports Television. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench starts now.
Let me go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome in. It is Tuesday here on Off the Bench. Man, don't you love starting the week on a Tuesday? It's unreal. And I love a lot about what's going on today. The boys are back in town. That's right. Jacob Hester back in the co-host seat. Well, I'm your host, T-Bob Hebert. Pleasure to be here.
Already?
Yeah, already.
Already. I've been gone for 11 days,
Yeah.
and already you try to put me in my place?
We're back. We're officially back. Mario's back. Well, Mario never left.
Mario left for a little bit.
Left. Danny didn't leave because he lives here. But Danny and Mario are here. The whole squad is here. Shout out to you boys. Great job, Mario, hosting on Friday.
Thank you.
Also, check out later today. We'll plug this a few times in the show. But Middle Relief with Mario Musso, or is it Musso and Mario?
Mario Musso.
Okay, there you go. Middle Relief with Mario and Musso.
To my knowledge.
You miss a lot here if you go on vacation.
Yeah. I mean, yes, a lot has changed. I mean, an era, LSU baseball era ends. There's a new show coming up later today with one of our producers. So, yeah, we're very excited. Very excited to be here. And obviously, we're about to get into headlines. We'll talk a lot of LSU baseball today. I wore the baseball jersey that Jake got me, actually. Thank you very much. Very kind. Today to honor Coach Mainieri and everything else. So we'll get into it throughout the show today. If you're watching online, press the like button. It's really easy. It helps spread the word. That's all you have to do. If you want to share it, great. But just hit the like button. Jake, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Feeling rejuvenized. Had a good vacation.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, rejuvenized?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, for sure it is.
Yeah, it'll count. That might be a Milesism. That might have been a, you know, he had a kind of a penchant.
I bet rejuvenate would be like, yeah, that's a word.
Yeah, rejuvenized, hell yeah, dude. But you feeling good?
Yeah, rejuvenized.
Yeah, rejuvenized. All right. We'll get into it. Let's go ahead. Dive into some headlines brought to you by Barbecue Guys.
OTV headlines are brought to you by Barbecue Guys. They're your one-stop shop for everything outdoor kitchens and living. Barbecue Guys, helping America host better barbecues since 1998.
All right, well, let's start with the biggest story of the weekend, especially here locally, and that is the retirement of Coach Paul Mainieri. You had certainly heard whispers that maybe something like this was kicking around, but I was still pretty shocked on Friday when it felt like out of nowhere. The text started rolling in, and you saw the news. And we'll talk about the press conference at 7:15 because it was, I think, the best press conference I've ever seen in terms of just learning things and the emotions, the sincerity of it all. But Coach Mainieri has announced his plans to retire at the end of the baseball season. He is currently the winningest active coach in all of college baseball. 39 years. He's been at it, 15 at LSU. And in those 40 years, has a .659 win percentage. He's the 7th winningest coach in the sport's history. He's one of only 5 coaches to win over 1,500 games and a national championship. He's won 30 team championships at LSU. If you look like NCAA regionals, College World Series, SEC regular season tournament titles, West Crowns. His 6 SEC titles are tied with Skip Bertman and Jim Wells for the most all time. A streak of 6 straight national seeds at LSU. A Hall of Famer. 4-time National Coach of the Year. Out of 133 kids to finish their career at LSU in his tenure, 132 graduated. So, and I don't think I ever knew this. Did you know this? I'm sure people did. And so this is on me. But then Coach Mainieri started his career here at LSU all those many years ago.
Yeah, 1 year.
Yeah.
He was here when the Block L had,
How fitting then that this is where this incredible journey will end as well. Congratulations to Coach.
Yeah, it was an outstanding career. Obviously, we enjoy catching up with him every single week here on the show throughout baseball season. And again, you did hear whispers, like you mentioned, T-Bob, that this potentially could happen. The timing of it did surprise me a little bit, but look, he decided that that's what he wanted to do, and now they're in the postseason, and I think this is something that the team can now get behind.
Yeah, so that's the other big LSU baseball news of the weekend is that it was, a lot of LSU fans filled with consternation as they were awaiting the selection show yesterday. Would LSU get in? Would they not? Well, it is official. The Tigers are in the dance, baby. That's right. The boys are going to travel to the regional, a place that's right next door. They're going to Eugene, Oregon, for the regional. That makes a ton of sense, right? Oregon's the 1 seed, Gonzaga's a 2 seed, LSU the 3 seed, Central Connecticut the 4 seed. And so this Friday night at 9 p.m., the last dance, exactly. It says it right there on the screen behind me. You want to watch Coach Mainieri one more time, once more into the fray, see where this thing goes? It starts this Friday at 9 p.m. against Gonzaga.
If I'm not mistaken, it's on ESPN 3 only, so you'll have to watch it on the app or on your phone. So it's not going to be the easiest game to watch, and that's not typical for an LSU regional.
Yeah, that is true. But I feel like, but that's how we've been taking in a lot of this year's games, right? It's on that some app, whether it's whatever, yes. So it is on ESPN 3, 9 p.m. this Friday. Here's what Coach Mainieri had to say about how it feels going all the way out there to Eugene, Oregon.
It's amazing when we don't host. The NCAA finds a way to make it as difficult as they can for us, don't they? They send us, I feel like we're going to Siberia, They're sending us to the other part of the world. It's not the other part of the world. It just feels like it, the most distant site that you possibly can be. I think there's 3 times that we've been in the tournament where we haven't hosted. We've gone to LA, we've gone to Corvallis, Oregon, and we've gone to Eugene, Oregon. But, we're very grateful to be in the tournament, and I don't care where we went, really.
Yeah, that is kind of wild. They keep sending them out west. Jake, how are you feeling, dude? 2 of your loves. Your 2 loves going toe-to-toe.
Well, it is funny,
Friday.
Hunt tried to make the same joke on Twitter. It had a little bit of scone tone to it.
Scone-tone, what a great term, dude. How have we never come up with that before? If somebody fixes your grammar, bro, that's scone-tone right there.
Yes.
Hack it down.
So, I enjoy Gonzaga basketball. I could not care less about their baseball program. And even in basketball, the Tigers and Bulldogs playing and going for the Tigers. So, Hunt, bad joke because it's all Tigers all the time.
So,
I'll be honest with you. The only reason I knew Gonzaga had baseball is because they wear Marucci.
Allow me to give you a little grammatical boon here. Great job saying I could not care less. You nailed it. I know a lot of people they could care less. Yeah, good job.
If you could care less, you actually could care less.
Even though if you really wanted to argue it, then it doesn't. LSU softball news. LSU softball lost an absolute heartbreaker on Friday night, losing 4-3 in a wild game that lasted 9 innings. Of course, last Thursday they dropped 1-0. Unfortunately for the ladies, a really tough fought one there as well. But in that 4-3 game, there were so many late home runs and these heroic moments that LSU just couldn't quite push across the finish line. And so in the end, Florida State actually wins the multi-year super regional rubber match that we were talking about. A very good season comes to an unfortunate end. Jake, you're kind of the premier softball viewer on this program. How'd you feel?
Yeah, the first game, so many games this year, we have seen LSU has been able to really dominate on the mound. They've been able to dominate defensively, but they have not been able to push, runs across the plate. And that's what, ultimately got them in the end. And then the second game, that was a wild game. It just felt like LSU had all the momentum. You could hear Tiger Park through the TV, and credit to Florida State, they just would not go away. With 2 outs, they hit the big home run to tie it up. And then they bring in a pinch hitter who had not even had a plate appearance in the postseason, comes up with the game-winning hit, and Florida State just would not go away. It doesn't take away from what LSU did this season. We know what they did. We talk with Coach every single week. It is a heartbreaker, though, and in Florida State, and I'm sure y'all talked about it last week, it's really become this rivalry between LSU and Florida State in softball.
Yeah, it's very odd. Like we said, unfortunately, this was the multi-year rubber match. They were tied 1-1, and Seminoles get the best of them congratulations to Coach Tarina, Leah Andrews, and everybody else on that LSU softball team.
You do have a lot of players coming back, too.
Yeah, they were
from
very
this
young.
team. They were really young.
Very young.
Of course, some of the big names were older players, but they are a young softball team. And like they are every single year, they'll be right back in the same position with a chance to get to Oklahoma City.
Yeah, Coach Tarina's got the program in a great spot still. So we talked about Eugene, Oregon. The LSU baseball team is going to be making the trip. Well, there's going to be a lot of LSU flavor up in Eugene, as in 2 weeks, the LSU track and field team will make their journey to Eugene for the NCAA finals. The Eastern prelims are now in the books, and I think that LSU acquitted themselves quite fantastically, as the women get a total of 19 entries in, the men get 15. I believe that's 34 total entries into that NCAA meet. Congratulations, Coach Dennis Shaver and company. As far as who kind of won the day, Tanea Marshall on the women's side stole the headlines with a 12.44 400-meter hurdle. How about this? An LSU school record, a facility record, the 4th best in college history, and maybe most impressively, the number 2 fastest time in the world in 2021. Unbelievable by Tanea. As far as the men's side, it was the freshman Sean Squirrel Burrell who won the day, a 48.86 400-meter hurdle, which is a PR, the NCAA lead, and the 8th fastest time in the world. Congratulations to all of the 34 athletes that are going to the finals.
This is a true story. So when I was on vacation, sometimes we were talking about LSU track and field because I had watched the SEC championships all the way through.
Yeah.
And we sat there, and I was watching it with my father-in-law. I was like, look, Terrace Laird, like, you heard about him? He's like, yeah, the LSU guy. And we're like, let's just watch some of his tapes. Like, he is so dominant. I don't even think I realized how dominant he was. I cannot wait to watch him in Eugene and all his events, because this track and field team is special. We've been talking about them all year long, and they've got some sprinters and some relay guys that I think are going to set records that we've never seen before.
Well, and this is also, like we've been trying to explain for a lot of the track and field laymen like myself out there, this is where you should see why LSU is ranked number 1 in the country, right? This is where that super concentration of elite talent will really come to bear, as just not as many schools have the sheer volume of athletes making it to the finals. In LSU football news, we got some game times for the fall, baby, and it starts at UCLA September 4th in prime time, 7:30 p.m. Hype for that. The following week, a little Tiger Stadium at night. The Tigers play host to McNeese. That game will be at 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus. Again, there, get on the app. There you go. And the following week, after that, another night game against Central Michigan. This time, 6:30 p.m. So look, super hyped about the Rose Bowl, obviously. The McNeese game, though, we were talking about it before the show. Pretty fascinating. Like, what does it feel like? Because, of course, if you don't know, Coach O's son, Cody Orgeron, is the quarterback of McNeese. So, like, what do you do if B.J. Ojolari comes off the edge and just, like, blindsides your son? Or, like, Allie Gay just crushes him or something? I don't know how you react to that.
I think you give it like one of the, and then you're like, oh yeah. I don't know. Like, I'm sure obviously the chat can come up with one like in 30 seconds. I can't think of a father coaching against his son who was the opposing team's quarterback. Like, we gave the example of the Biancos during baseball when Drew hits a home run and he's rounding third base and he kind of looks at his dad in the dugout.
That was awesome.
Like, that was a really cool moment. I think me and Bane were actually at that game, and it was even cool, like, being in that stadium. You could kind of feel him looking at his dad as he rounded third base, but this is different. This is a contact sport. Well,
and, I mean, think about this. Coach O has made a career on teaching guys how to kill quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Like, that's his specialty. Like, when Obi-Wan says, Sith are our speciality. Well, like, killing quarterbacks is Coach O's speciality, and now he has to turn those talents against his own child. We'll talk to Coach about it coming up here at 7:30. Also got a lot to talk to because guess what? Recruiting is open, and LSU has a ton of visits planned. It starts today on June 1st, so look forward to that interview at 7:30. All right, those are your headlines brought to you by Barbecue Guys. Coming up next, I really want to dive into this Coach Mainieri press conference. I was just absolutely blown away by it, and I'll explain why on the other side.
He's on the SEC right now. I'm sure it's taped, but he's in his car. You think his blinkers on?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. It's only fitting. It should be.
Yeah.
OTB headlines are presented daily by Barbecue Guys. Remember, the most popular grill on the market is Blaze Grills. Premium gas grills that combine expert engineering and dependable performance. All backed by a best-in-class lifetime warranty. Visit barbecueguys.com or our local showroom to learn more about Blaze Grills. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Sorry for the awkward setup there, Mario. When you go to Downsville Glass and Body, you don't have to worry about any awkward setups. They are the best place for any car repairs that you need, like simple stuff like oil changes, all the way to the most advanced, because like the body shop, the collision repair is the best in the state, and it's not even close. Wait until you see the facilities firsthand. But remember, it's just not what they do, but how they do it and the customer service therein. If your car breaks down in your driveway, your place of work, you can't drive it, call DGB. They will pick it up for you, fix it, and drop it back off to you. The towing and that, completely free.
Like T-Bob said, one-stop shop, and like we truly mean that. Whatever is going on with your vehicle, whatever you need done to your vehicle, they can do it all there at DGB. And remember, they're going to be transparent through this entire process. When they get your car, they're going to tell you exactly what you need to get back on the road and to be safe. They're not going to surprise you with something added on or an added cost as well. DGBauto.com, DawsonvilleGlassandBody.com.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with a certified pre-owned vehicle.
What if you could truly energize your body and mind from the most fundamental level, your cells? Cellivate is a revolutionary health-aware approach to energy, focus, and mood enhancement, packing everything you need to optimize your mind and body from the inside out. The unique formula combines top-notch cellular energizers, nootropics, herbal extracts, and powerful antioxidants, all in one sugar-free 12-ounce can. Elevate your cells. Cellivate.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Have a great, safe, healthy Memorial Day weekend. And we'll be back after the holiday. So join us for Tuesday's AFR, 3 to 6. Happy Memorial Day. We'll see you Tuesday. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Let's go ahead and dive in. As to me, the big news is was the Coach Mainieri conference on Friday. Now, Coach O has a ton of big stuff to talk about coming up at 7:30, so you're not going to want to miss that. Hit the like button so as many people as possible can see it. But I don't know about you, Jake. So I didn't watch it live. I was driving to Atlanta and then like wedding stuff the other weekend, whatever, right? But I finally got to watch it actually this morning in full. And it's about an hour, 20 minutes. And I would really encourage anyone, if you have the time, maybe you got to drive, like whatever you're doing, if you just want something to listen to as you're doing something else, I would really encourage you to check out this press conference in its entirety. For me personally, I think it was probably the most memorable, meaningful, impactful press conference that I've ever seen. Like I was sincerely moved, and I know I'm not alone in that sentiment because even Friday when the presser was going down, I was seeing a bunch of tweets and stuff pop up about like people like shedding tears. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And then sure enough, now granted, this is an extremely low bar, but I too found myself shedding tears. But it's not because I have some like, some crazy connection with Coach Mainieri or LSU baseball. In fact, out of a lot of media members, I would say I probably have covered him closely, like less than most, right? I mean, I used to go to the bigger press conference after regionals and super regionals, but I wasn't there every day. We talked to him on the show quite a bit, but we're not like texting personally or anything like that. And I don't know, man. I feel like I gleaned a lot of wisdom from Friday, and the entire presser is kind of representative of who he always was at LSU, especially with media members. And this is another sentiment that you saw echoed a lot, where he's just so accommodating and so thoughtful, and especially in this job where we both have a job to do. We have a job to do. The coach has a job to do. Naturally, those responsibilities are at odds a lot of times. Yeah. And a lot of coaches seem to take that personally. And Coach Mainieri always pretty incredibly didn't. And he would still be gracious and sincere in his answers and giving you time. And he was just an absolute pleasure to cover. And like I said, I feel like I learned wisdom, learned life lessons about what you want to accomplish, how you want to do it, and how you want to look back on your life from listening to that presser on Friday.
One of the things I always notice when someone like this retires or, whatever, if they get fired at the end, whatever it might be, I always look to see, okay, what do the former players say about it?
Yeah.
And it took like 30 seconds for me to see on Twitter as soon as it was announced, like former players like Renato and Bain and Bregman and like all the ones that I follow, they were just, Duplantis, all these guys had an outpouring of love for Coach Mainieri and shared like a personal story and had a picture of them together. And Kramer Robinson shared the one where Mainieri has on the wig and the eye black and all those things, right? And so that to me says that, okay, this guy had his players' attention. He had their love. He had their respect. And that always goes a very long way with me. And you could tell in his press conference, I mean, he fought back tears like the entire time.
Yeah.
Like the entire time he was talking, you can tell it was very difficult for him to get through that. And like we've mentioned, I mean, remarkable career. And there was so many like little nuggets in his press conference that really maybe I didn't know before of just his coaching history and the way he got to LSU or got back to LSU, like we mentioned in headlines, from starting here as a player in the 70s and then finding his way back. And how many times did we hear him talk about Skip Bertman and he wanted to make Skip proud? Like that's what got me was him saying, I want to make Skip proud, because look, it's a very difficult deal to be the LSU baseball coach. Like we all know that. Now it's a privilege as well. We know that as well. But when Skip Bertman, like maybe the biggest legend in college baseball history as far as coaches, is the one is the athletic director that hires you, there's a lot of pressure that goes into that. And obviously like Smoke was in between that and Smoke didn't work out. But like you weren't on Skip's staff. Like you were coming from the outside and Skip was bringing you in. And I guess I never knew exactly how much that meant to Coach Mainieri to make Skip proud and to have his approval, because I understand it. I get it. Like Skip's a standard, and that's who hired you. And, anytime that he brought his name up, you could tell like it meant something to him.
Well, and what I love is that the tail end of the press conference, Coach Bertman did come up on there and address the media as well. And the first thing he said, and he made it painfully clear, is that he is very proud of Coach Paul Mainieri and what he did at LSU. And probably one of the most heartbreaking points to me, and well, first I want to talk about a positive. You mentioned his story. I love learning about some of the journey that led him to LSU, like from making $3,200 a year at his first job at a small Catholic college where he was there for 6 years and he had 3 kids under 5 years old making $3,200 a year. That's a grind. And he grinded all the way to the Air Force and then Notre Dame and then eventually to LSU, where he, like Jacob said, he took on that huge burden of expectation and he did it. He won a national championship. He won 30 team championships like we talked about. But probably the most heartbreaking point to me was him apologizing for not winning another national championship. And you could tell, look, if nothing else, Coach Mainieri, nothing was ever for a lack of caring or a lack of trying or a lack of wanting. Like he cares almost too deeply about every inning, every result. He lives, he hangs on everything. And you could tell that, yeah, he really bugged him that some of the great players that he had later in his career weren't able to get through all the way to the national championship. But to me, this is one of my least favorite things about how we view sport. I think we overemphasize just the final champion. Only one team gets to be that each and every year, right? It's just mathematically the odds are not in your favor. It's an impossible standard to live up to, and that impossible standard ends up discoloring so many emotions about how we feel about these people. I want you to be championship relevant at a program like LSU. And with 6 World Series appearances in a row, what could be more championship, but 6 hosting, super seeds in a row.
Yeah, national seeds.
Like national seeds. What could be more championship relevant than that? And so he did it. Mission accomplished. Made Skip proud. Made the LSU fan base proud. More importantly than anything, just a good man, a good role model, no scandal. It's a good person who, he talked about the indispensable man, right? And how nobody's indispensable. Nobody, like, in time, everybody will forget you. Well, that may be true if you zoom out long enough, but the ripple effects of what Coach Mainieri did in Baton Rouge will be felt for decades to come.
You mentioned, I know we got to take a break, but you mentioned hanging on to every loss, and that's something you can definitely tell with Coach Mainieri. And a lot of the great ones do have that. Like, they can tell you exactly where they were, why it went wrong, and all those type of things. And he, yet again, mentioned the Tennessee series in his press conference. Yeah. That series, he mentions it almost every time we talk to him. You can tell that one rubbed him the wrong way. And if LSU is able to pull off the upset, if they're able to advance to a super regional as a 3 seed, where did they go?
Really?
Tennessee.
Oh, boy.
You don't think Coach Mainieri wants some payback after the way that series ended?
Dude, narratively.
And I know Tennessee's only got better. I know all of that. But that would be fitting for him to get the opportunity, because you can tell that one got after him a little bit.
Well, so we'll talk more about what comes next in the tournament this weekend, and hopefully the boys can make a run at this thing. But first, I just really wanted to take a moment and just thank Coach Mainieri. And just for his time and the sincerity and his graciousness and everything through the years. It was well done, mission accomplished, like I said. All right, when we get back, we're going to talk to Coach O, and a lot of big news on the LSU football front. It is June 1st, which means recruiting is officially open once again in the post-COVID era. What does LSU have planned? To hear from Coach O next on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com, All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com. Jake, a lot of times we talk about purchasing cars from All-Star Toyota, and it's all well and good. You absolutely can. New, used, whatever you want. You want to go to the rental department, you do it. Super cheap, great deal. But how about selling your car to All-Star Toyota? The market's kind of crazy right now, in that you can literally get more for your car potentially than you paid for it in the beginning. Like, cars are supposed to depreciate. Right now, that's not the case. Go to All-Star Toyota, see what they can offer you today. If you're looking to get a new vehicle, All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com.
You're exactly right, T. Like, we do talk about the rentals a lot, and that is a great, great buy, and it's a bargain, and you're going to get it cheaper than you're going to get it elsewhere. But like T said, don't forget about all the other options. including those new vehicles. They've got something for everybody, every lifestyle, every family. We can promise you that no matter what it is, midsize, full-size, SUV, truck, hybrid, sedan, you name it, they got it. AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, Hanging with Hanny. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
From the makers of Blue Moon comes Light Sky. An extraordinary citrus sweet brewed with real tangerine peel, only 95 calories. Welcome to the light side of the moon.
Yo, Jacob Hester here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Center, the place that can be at your convenience during those inconvenient times. I know they've been that for me. I've got 4 boys, right? So sometimes stitches happen, and they have 6 convenient locations, one close to you to be able to be convenient for you. Remember, you can also check in online. PatientPlusUC.com is the website. That way you skip the line as well. Patient Plus Urgent Care Center, get in and get better.
Bayou Ford is open for business, and we want to earn your business. Stop in and see our selection of the latest Ford cars and trucks, as well as a variety of quality pre-owned vehicles, with prices starting as low as $5,000. Bayou Ford will get you the transparent information you're looking for, and when you're ready to purchase your new vehicle, provide the professional service you deserve. Located off I-10 on Belterre Boulevard in LaPlace. If you need sales, service, or fleet, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Have a great, safe, healthy Memorial Day weekend, and we'll be back after the holiday. So join us for Tuesday's AFR, 3 to 6. Happy Memorial Day. We'll see you Tuesday. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back to OTB. Look, you have technical difficulty, I guess, on 100.3 ESPN, but you can watch us on CST, YouTube, wherever else. Also, it's a pointless announcement because if you can't hear it, you can't hear it, right? All right, right now, let's go to the phone line. As it's like raise your hand if you're not here. Let's go to the phone line where we got the head man of LSU football, Coach Ed Orgeron. We talk to him every Tuesday at 7:30. Coach, what's going on, man?
Good morning, guys. Great to be on the show. Fantastic day for LSU Tigers coming up. Unofficial visitors coming to campus for the first time in a while. We're excited.
Okay, so let's start there. It's June 1st, which means, yes, as you just alluded to, for the first time post-COVID, campus visits are open once again. What do y'all have planned coming up? Is it today or this weekend? Like what do the next few days look like?
You know, today we have about 15 unofficial visitors with their parents coming up. campus store, talk football, watch our football school this afternoon, meet with me in my office. We have a great group of young men, great group of parents coming. I can't wait to see them.
And, Coach, this is something we've talked about. I mean, y'all have had this plan for a long time. You knew one day that it would reopen, but now that day is finally here, and this is something that you thrive in. I mean, you've always been a fantastic recruiter. I mean, me and T-Bob have seen that firsthand.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine that you're not like a kid on Christmas morning today.
I spent all day preparing yesterday, man. I just came in the office, was ready. There was a lot of things that got to go on into a visit, and we have a tremendous staff. We got a great group of guys that we're going to be recruiting together for the first time. I'm excited. There's a lot of energy around the building today.
Yeah, so, Coach, when you have, like, that volume of guys, right, 15 guys, but you want to make sure that everybody's getting their kind of, your interaction, that you're dealing with them, like, how does that work? How long do you sit down with each guy? How do you manage that from, like, a time perspective?
Kiva and Olivia did a tremendous job. They were in here all day with me yesterday. We've been working on this organization for about a week now, and it's all hands on deck today. And we use everybody in the building recruits, and everybody's assigned to a certain group of young men. So when they come into the office, the first thing they do is visit with me. Then they go on academics. Then they go on a tour. Then they meet football, and then they come to practice. So it's very well organized.
All right, Coach, I want to ask you about some of the freshmen that got here last week, because there's some of those guys that we've talked about, like you, have not even had the chance to really see them in person. And so once you got your eyes on them, who impressed you? Who's someone you said, man, I maybe I didn't know you were as big as you were, or, just when you walked in, you're like, okay, this guy's ready to play.
I'm really impressed with a lot of them, but Chris Hilton has been very impressive. So is Malik Neighbors. So is Brian Thomas, and so is Jack Beck. He kind of reminded me of you a little bit there, Hester, but we have a tough football player. Very, these guys are impressed in the conditioning drills. Very impressed with that group.
Coach, another group that you were impressed with, and I was surprised to see this because it's not often, or maybe ever, that I've had a college football head coach ask me this, but you specifically, after last week, wanted to reach out to me and be like, hey, man, look, I want to talk about the group of walk-ons that we have next week. What is it about these guys that has really, struck a chord with you?
First of all, as you guys know, these guys get treated just like a scholarship football player on our football team. And you guys done a lot to them. These guys are some of your best friends.
Yep.
And a lot of them are leaders on the football team. A lot of them end up getting scholarships. A lot of guys end up playing. But I'm very impressed with Coach Greg McMahon has been in charge of the walk-ons. And listen to these GPAs, 4.1, 3.9, 3.1, 3.2, 3.8, 3.9, 3.9, on and on and on. So we have some great character young men and some guys that fit the needs of an LSU walk-on. Now, check this out. We have Matt O'Dowd, a walk-on from Florida. His parents came to school here. We have Jack Ryland, who he moved to Florida, lived by himself so he could play football.
Wow.
We have three guys from St. Thomas More. A couple of them are all-state, all-district. Lane Blue from Bevel High School, first team all-district, second team all-state. Check us out. Dylan Gibbs from Destran, district MVP. And on and on and on. So we have some great young men that have come and some quality football players to help our football team.
Go on.
And the last one I forgot to mention is Clinton Cage. His nickname is Pig. He was a freshman All-America at Nickel State and at a position of need, a nickel or safety. And the guy looks phenomenal. I love him. I think all these guys are going to be in position to come in and play. And then we're expecting a young man, you guys remember his name, Lance Smith, one of all-time great players here. His son is expected to walk on with us later on.
So just an absolutely fantastic group, it sounds like. Talking to Coach Ed Orgeron here on Off the Bench about this football program as recruiting opens back up today. Coach, we got some game times announced as well. How hyped are you to be playing in the Rose Bowl at prime time to kick off the season?
Prime time is good, but I play them at 6 a.m. It don't matter. We're going to be ready to go. But listen, I know we're going to have a lot of fans. I've talked to some people that are going to be out there. The Rose Bowl is one of the greatest venues to play. UCLA, we watched them. They're a good football team. Chip Kelly's going to turn this program around. And, we're going to Los Angeles. We're going to leave on Thursday night. Our football team is going to be very well prepared, but we're going to need some Tigers in that stadium.
Coach, I got to ask you about this. So, second game is obviously against Mainieri. It's going to be hosting in Tiger Stadium. Excuse me. I'm probably going to be full. That mute button didn't work. Probably going to be full, right? It's going to be insane. But, Coach, what's it going to be like? You've made a career of getting after quarterbacks. What's it going to be like when, you're sending Ali Gay and company, against your son? What's that going to do?
Well, knowing Cody, he's going to expect our very best. Yeah, and he's going to get it. And you know what? I expect him to do well also. But that night, I'm a Tiger, and obviously that's my son. But I know Frank's going to have that team very well prepared.
And Coach, we're talking about kickoff times, and we're kind of looking at opponents. And this year, we actually know who the opponents are going to be and when the games are going to be played. And is this the first time now that we're talking about recruiting opening back up? This is the first time probably in over a year that it's felt normal for you. Like this is a normal week and a normal time of the season when you're doing normal things.
Yes, there's some excitement to get people on our campus. One of the things you enjoy as a college coach is recruiting. And that's the lifeblood of your program. So to get the people on campus, get to know them, get them to camps, get them, evaluate them, and get official visits. We have about 8 guys coming on official visits this weekend. Plus, we have our O-line, D-line camp. We have our kicking camp, and we have our skills camp. Ooh. So we asked a lot of people on campus. Guess what? We got it.
Talking to Coach Edo, you said you got football school coming up this afternoon, Coach. What does that look like now in week 2 of the summer program?
We're still installing. Jake came up to me this morning. We're putting in a new run play. One run play that I really like. The counter OT is a gap scheme, as you guys know. So we're putting that in today. We're putting in the basics, fundamentals of our core values on offense and defense and special teams. And then we don't get to run plays with them. They get to go out there and have player-only practices after we do specific conditioning with our group. But one of the things I'm most impressed with is the way that the leadership of our team has taken over, and those guys are practicing out there on their own, doing a lot of things that just like we do at practice.
And, Coach, I was going to ask you maybe who are some of the defensive guys that you're looking forward to seeing that leadership come from, because I know for our championship team, on the defensive side of things, because offense, the quarterback, everybody's going to gravitate around the quarterbacks. That's just the nature of that position. But defensively, like a guy like Glenn Dorsey, who was a nose tackle, but he got all the guys together defensively and got them ready to go. Who's that guy for you so far?
Up front is Andre Anthony, Ali Gay. And then linebackers, Damone Clark, and then Derek Stingley has been a leader for us. And also Jay Ward. Our guys love Jay Ward and Cordell Flott. They're kind of quiet leaders doing it the right way. And Todd Harris has been back there. He's a veteran. I think along with those guys, and a guy that's popped up is Jared Small. Jared's a walk-on scholarship with us, had a tremendous spring. The guys love him. So I think we have a lot of leadership on defense. But as you guys know, I always say this, you find out who your leaders are when things get tough.
Yeah, no doubt. And so, that will kind of reveal itself in time. What about on the offensive side of the ball in terms of, same thing, who's taking the initiative? Because very famously, back in 2019, championship teams always have these legends kind of crop up about them, but it's they were out there on Saturdays at 10 a.m. practicing on their own. So, who is trying to assume that role and get the fellas together when they technically don't have to?
Yeah, Miles Brenton and Max Johnson, both of them are doing a tremendous job of leading and keeping guys together. But the offensive line, I mean, you got that whole group backed up. And I expect them. I named them all team captains for the spring game, and I expect those guys to lead. Now I come out here on Saturday and Sunday to run. Some of them out there on their own working out, especially Austin Deckles and Ed Ingram. Those guys have shown, and Liam Shanahan. Those guys have shown to be proven leaders.
Coach O, thank you so much, man. Each and every Tuesday right here on Off the Bench at 7:30. Can't wait for the start of football season. I know you're hyped for the start of recruiting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Go Tigers.
Yes, sir. Coach. You have a great day. All right, a lot to break down there. I like that answer about the freshmen, like who's kind of showed up. So let's talk about it next to close out hour number 1 here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to GEAUXroof.com, go roof.com. 927-8300 is the number. 927-8300. You call them up. They answer the phone. You hit them with the roof stop, and they're going to love it. They're going to love it, right? But what you're going to love is what you get when you work with Go Roof, which is a beautiful new roof every shingle time. All right, that's enough puns. Let's get down to brass tacks here. Free professional estimates. Okay, so you call them up. They come out there. It doesn't cost you anything up front. For them to kind of get a view of, okay, this is what needs to be done. Then you get to make a fully informed decision about what comes next. If it's a big job, insurance covers it, great. If it's not, and maybe something smaller, but you still need help, they can work with you to find monthly payment options. They're going to make it work for you. GEAUX, they're from the community. They care about the community. They want your roofing issues to be solved, and they're the ones to solve it. GoRoof.com, 927-8300.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Have you been issued a ticket for texting, speeding, or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343-1111 or connect with us online at ocbrown.com.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service. HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At Front to Back, they got not one, but two NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to Front to Back Boat Service.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with a certified pre-owned vehicle.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Sports wouldn't be the same without the die-hard fans. That's why we're highlighting the fans that do the most. 104.5 ESPN. Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Have a great, safe, healthy Memorial Day weekend, and we'll be back after the holiday. So join us for Tuesday's AFR, 3 to 6. Happy Memorial Day. We'll see you Tuesday. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Off the Bench. Closing out hour number 1 here. Just wrapped up with Coach Joe. We got a bit of a different hour 2 today. Eric Sorensen's going to come on.
Going to be in studio.
Yeah, it's going to be in studio for a couple of segments as we talk all things NCAA tournament, Coach Mainieri, LSU's chances going up there to Eugene. And then we're going to combine a little Monday and Tuesday segments. We'll do our holiday weekend winners at 8:30. And then OTB mailbag at 9 to kick off hour number 3 if you're into that. And then Jeff Duncan's coming on at 9:30. He just had a great article on The Athletic titled, The Courting of Arch Manning, I'm Wide Open. Again, we've said this on this show plenty of times, but anybody who's telling you that Arch Manning is just guaranteed not coming to LSU is way off base. And if they're like, well, he released a list of schools he's going to go visit officially and LSU wasn't on there. Look, I don't know if he'll end up taking an official visit to LSU or not. He's going to take plenty of visits to LSU. Okay, you don't have, when you live close, you don't have to take official visits. Back in the day, when I was growing up in Atlanta, I was an hour away from Athens. I think I went to like 5 or 6 unofficial visits to Georgia. That was mainly just an excuse to like get free tickets to the game and then go out drinking with my friends afterwards.
Drinking Gatorades and waters.
Drinking Gatorades and waters responsibly.
Yep.
But I could have used a little more responsibility probably this weekend. But yeah, like Arch Manning is going to be able to check out LSU. So we'll break that down with Jeff at 9:30 as Jeff seems to have his finger on the pulse when it comes to this recruitment. So I think he's probably actually kind of the authority to talk to outside of the Manning family themselves.
And remember, too, LSU's quarterbacks coming up, I mean, they've got some good ones committed to them.
Yeah, it's not like everything
they've got good ones that have come in. And so a little bit of this obviously has to do with what his last name is. Now, he's a very good high school football player, but how much would we be talking about this if his last name was Smith?
Yeah, no. I mean,
at this point in his recruitment.
That's definitely true. That's without a doubt true. And like you said, he is very good and will be very highly rated. Like, he'll probably be a top 5 quarterback in the country if he's not already. But that's just the reality of the situation, right? It's impossible to separate that last name from the context in which it exists, where you're just talking about literally actually like 3 of the top quarterbacks in NFL history, all being from one family, and now a 4th seemingly starting to emerge.
And it's just the fact that, the children and now the grandchildren have grown up in Louisiana, and none of them have gone to LSU. Obviously, so all these things, and I'm not telling anybody any breaking news. Everybody knows this. All of those things play into this.
Yeah, and Coach O being such a competitor, like from a recruiting standpoint, which is his bread and butter, like what a feather in the cap it would be. But that's all way down the road. Still, we'll talk to Jeff about it at 9:30. More immediately is what Coach was just referencing. It's June 1st. Recruiting opening back up today. It sounds like they have a fantastic plan in place. Who needs the weekend, right? Like, forget about it. It's Tuesday. That's fine. We'll have 15 unofficial visitors on this Tuesday now that we can once again. And, Jake, finally they can start to take advantage of those facilities.
Yeah, because they haven't been able to really show off all the new shiny stuff. We've talked about it so many times, but it's important because you build this state-of-the-art facility and you do all these things to the locker room and you're only able to show it off for a little bit, not even during the offseason. It was during football season, and visits during football season are not like they are in the offseason. And then you've added a Heisman Trophy, a national championship trophy, 30 trophies to the trophy case that you have not been able to show off. And as we all know, that goes a long way. Like when a recruit walks in and he saw, and it was Billy Cannon's Heisman, well, that was a long time ago. Okay, that was 60 years ago. Now they get to see Joe Burrow. They all know who Joey B is, right? They follow him on Instagram. They do all these things. And so you're able to recruit to all of those things. Our guy, Chef Michael Johnson, right? The new cafeteria there, you're able to see all of that as well. It's not like the Pentagon when I was here.
So I was going to say, I do remember back in the day, I was always going to LSU, so all of it wasn't relevant. But I remember thinking, like, dude, LSU's cafeteria is crap compared to these others. Like, Georgia had, like, steaks, and it was, like, so nice and everything. And it was like,
hey, Miss Delphine had them cornbread muffins, though.
Yeah, thank you.
Miss Delphine had them cornbread muffins.
Shout out Miss Delphine, absolute legend, a wonderful woman, and I ended up loving the Pentagon. Probably a little too much. It's how you get up to 318 pounds.
318?
At one point in your life. That was the heaviest day when I was bulking up for guard. One day before workouts, I weighed in at
3 bills plus
dude.
18 pounds?
Plus 18. Svelte. Sexy as hell. All right, hour one of the books.
I don't know about
that. Hey, if you like big guys.
Well, you did dress as Mr. Kool-Aid Man.
Like big guys, that's not me.
1,000% you.
Yeah. Hour one of the books.
Yeah, Eric Sorensen in studio when we come back. D1 Baseball. Break it down.
Right here.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to RejuveMeMedical.com. Rejuvenize yourself today.
Yes, rejuvenize.
A new word that Hester made up. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me, and rejuvenize me, right? Because if you want to roll out with the energy that you used to in the morning, if you want to roll into bed at night with the energy you used to have, Rejuve Me Medical can help you. And look, your pathway may not be another person's pathway. The bottom line is you take your labs, your body gives them the information through which they will accomplish the goal of making you feel like your younger best self.
Hey, if you just went on vacation for 11 days and you drove and you're like, I should not be this tired from driving. I need to go get checked. Well, Rejuve Me Medical is the place to go. They're going to check your levels because it's not always just about testosterone. Obviously, that's something they can treat, but go check it out because you might be tired for another reason. I know for me, it was a different reason. That's why I got my levels checked, and now I am on a regimen to get back to feeling like my youthful self.
RejuveMeMedical.com.
Bayou Ford is open for business, and we want to earn your business. Stop in and see our selection of the latest Ford cars and trucks, as well as a variety of quality pre-owned vehicles, with prices starting as low as $5,000. Bayou Ford will get you the transparent information you're looking for, and when you're ready to purchase your new vehicle, provide the professional service you deserve. Located off I-10 on Belterre Boulevard in LaPlace. If you need sales, service, or fleet, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Tuesday, June 1st. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see thunderstorms with a high of 82. In case you missed hour one of the show, you can now catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. Still to come, we have a post-holiday version of Weekend Winners, and Eric Sorensen of D1 Baseball joins the show in studio. Remember, we also have our OTB mailbag today, so get your questions in. Tweet them or ask them in the YouTube chat using the hashtag OTB mailbag, and we'll get them answered at 8:15. Follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN or by subscribing to the YouTube for new content every day. Also check us out on CST. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome in hour number 2 of OTB, a third member in the studio today. As you can see, if you're watching on CST or YouTube, man, 6 feet 2 inches tall with a 6'8" wingspan. It says that on your Twitter bio, and I confirm. There's some long arms, bro. That's Eric Sorensen at Stitchhead, Stitch_head on Twitter. If you're talking with guys that know college baseball, Sorensen, I've been talking to him. Me and Jake both, actually, independently even.
Yeah.
I've been talking to Eric for a long time about college baseball, D1 baseball. Nobody knows the full breadth of college baseball like Eric does. And so we're going to get into it, just all manner of things over the next 2 segments. Eric's going to sit here in studio with us. Eric, first off, welcome in, man. How you feeling today?
No, great. I was geeked to come in. And as you guys know, my appearance fee for being on site is twice. So I'm getting paid double today.
Okay,
I like that.
excellent.
I like that. You guys
Yes.
pay me pretty well. So I did.
Go see Gordy Rush's office is down the hall to the right.
I'll talk to him.
Where's my check, dude? So let's start here though. Before we get into, because you're such a great resource to have in today, given that LSU's traveling all the way to Eugene to face these foreign teams that they're like the exotic people that crest the hill. You have no idea who they are. But let's start here with Coach Mainieri's retirement. He announced it last week. He has the press conference. It was really touching, really sincere. As far as local media goes, it seems like one and all. He's always been incredibly gracious to the media, right? And he's kind of beloved in our professional groups because of that. Give us the national perspective on Coach Mainieri, like y'all's interaction with him, and then just a bit about like what he's accomplished.
Yeah. I don't know how much time you guys have.
Yeah.
No, great dude. I've always liked Coach Mainieri, and I kind of always thought, being a kid from Omaha and growing up and seeing teams from all over the country. When I was a kid, it was like even more like you had Maine and Michigan and all these different teams, kind of exotic teams coming to Omaha. And then when things changed, it was really more about the West, the South, and the Southeast. It was really impressive to see a team from Notre Dame, a team from a snow belt, to come to Omaha. And anytime a coach can do that, right from that point right there, I realized, all right, this guy's legit. And then he ends up getting the LSU job, which is, you guys went to LSU, I did too. And you knew it was going to be tough because Smoke Laval had the job for a few years, and that was kind of a dumpster fire. Not horribly, but it wasn't the greatest. And so you kind of always had this sort of specter of Coach Bourbon over you. But Paul embraced that. He kind of liked the pressure of it. He wanted this kind of big time job. And so when he got it and then he won a national championship a couple of years in, I was so proud of him. I was really happy for him. And he's kind of, not to kiss his ass too much, but he's really one of the nice guys of college baseball.
Absolutely.
I think the only thing he and I ever fought about was I wanted him to play more non-conference games out west, where I live now. But, so I think that's the only thing we ever got into arguments about. But other than that, he's really been gracious with all the media, all the guys at D1 baseball, Aaron and Kendall and Mark Etheridge. All of us kind of know that he's a good guy. Yeah. I think his press conference was kind of telling, and that he is a sore loser. That part is true. He admits to it because, man, when he loses and he gets eliminated in Omaha, I've never seen a coach feel more and like put his arms around his players and just seemed like he's almost crying with them.
It's crazy.
He's really affected more so than other coaches. And I'm always kind of like, I don't worry about it, Paul. You'll get back to Omaha again. And then I think, oh, yeah, these kids aren't going to. So that's why I feel so bad for him. But so, okay, I've kind of rambled a little bit, but the dude's legit a great guy, and I'm going to miss him a lot because he's been so good to us and for college baseball in general.
I mean, the pressure, and you talked about it, the pressure replacing a guy like Skip, even though Smoke was in between there, that's already great. But to have Skip be the one that hires you because he's the athletic director, I think that ramps it up like 10 times. And you knew like the standard of LSU baseball, because you're right, like Smoke was a dumpster fire to LSU standards.
By their
but
standards,
to other standards, he wasn't. But that's just the standard that's set at LSU. And Paul knew that he had to not only go to Omaha, but eventually he had to win in Omaha. And I think he did invite that pressure.
Yeah, and he did talk about in the press conference the other day that it was Skip Bertman that brought him in, and he's known Skip for forever back in his Miami days. So I think that kind of helped it a little bit. My only thing was, come on, Skip, couldn't you pick this guy first after you retired? Nothing against Smoke. Smoke's a good dude too. Brought him to Omaha. I'm not going to disparage him, but yeah, I think Paul has always kind of thrived on that pressure, and it's kind of like, I think we talked about it. You and I, Jake, talked about it with Cole Kubelik the other day. Is it at midpoints of like every few seasons, there'll be a midpoint of the season where LSU's just doing crappy, and this year is no different. And then all of a sudden they just kind of click in, and it's just like, as Coach Mainieri once told me, he's like, this is when I put on my cape and I go into superhero mode, and he does, and his team's always kind of seem to react. So he kind of thrives on that pressure, and he's done great handling it in the most high pressure job in the country, you have to say.
Yeah, and I just loved hearing about, when he was really thinking about taking the job, he had to take his own advice that he gives to his players all the time about like not being scared in the big moments and just going for it, because it is a burden of expectation that whoever the next man is now has maybe even arguably a greater one, because now the last, 2 out of the last 3 coaches have won national championships and everything else. So congrats to Coach Mainieri on an incredible career, but it's not over yet.
No.
Okay. We got one more dance, baby. LSU getting in to the field of 64. Rare that LSU's kind of anxiously sitting on its seat during that selection. You could tell watching the video of the team, they were ecstatic when it was announced that they were going to get an opportunity. They're heading up to Eugene. Tell us a little bit. Can you give us like a little bird's eye view, or just maybe like a light scout report on the 3 teams and who's it? We got Oregon, Gonzaga Friday night, and then I believe it's Central Connecticut. What's going on with these teams?
Well, the first thing that people are going to realize, and LSU's probably going to bring a handful of fans, maybe more than a handful, because it could be I almost said Skip Bertman's last year. It could be Paul Mainieri's last games this weekend. So I figure they'll bring a bunch. And the first thing those people have to realize is, yes, it's actually 65 degrees for a high in Eugene, Oregon in June. And it's going to probably be overcast and cool. And that's like and it's actually, PK Park is one of my favorite places to go see it. Everything's brand new there. They put all that Nike money into it when Oregon decided to bring that program back. And they've done really well. They haven't quite made it to Omaha yet, but 2 years, well, I guess the last full season, 2019, Oregon really kind of had a crappy year, and they had good players, and that was George Horton's last season, but they brought in Mark Wazakowski from Purdue, and he's done a great job with them, getting them to top 10 ranking this year, and he's one of these guys that has their team. It's typical kind of West Coast. They're gonna pitch the hell out of the ball. They're not gonna walk you a lot, and they're gonna play. I think them and Gonzaga had it. Yeah, they're tied for 10th in the country in defense. So they're going to play good defense. They're going to pitch well. And they've got, this time, the difference with Oregon this year as opposed to other years is that they've got good hitting. They've got some guys that look like they're kind of beefy LSU guys. They look like
T-Bob said, they'll look like T-Bob.
This big, bro.
Yeah. No, I don't think it was that.
They look like SEC linebackers.
I don't think it was that.
So, yeah, they've got some oomph to their lineup this year. Aaron Savala and Kenyon Yovan are 2 of the best power hitters in the country. And then the thing you have to worry about is the first game against Gonzaga. Scrappy team. They're one of these mid-majors that they went down to Dallas Baptist, won 2 out of 3. They went to Texas Tech, lost both games, but both games by 1 run, and they win 2 out of 3 at TCU. That tells you enough right there. The one time I saw Gonzaga play this year was out at Pepperdine. And by the way, when you go to a Pepperdine game, you're overlooking the Pacific Ocean.
I've actually randomly been to a Pepperdine game, and it was unbelievable, too.
Amazing views and great-looking co-eds. So nonetheless, but they went to Pepperdine, and Jacob, what's his last name? Alex Jacob is his name, pitched a no-hitter. So LSU's probably going to face this guy, a wiry kid. He's only about 6'2" or so, wiry, and he throws 84 to 86. He's nothing like they've really seen from an SEC stance. And he pitches a no-hitter against a pretty good Pepperdine team. So that's going to be job number one right there, is LSU get past this guy, and again, just like Oregon, Gonzaga, very disciplined. As I mentioned, great defense, 10th in the country in defense. A staff that doesn't walk a lot of players, and they're a mid-major they're one of these mid-majors that came back this year, had a lot of experience. Like that extra COVID year, they're all junior, senior guys. And Coach Mark Mockdorf told me after their game at Pepperdine, he said, these guys are kind of fearless. They really don't care. They've played Oregon and Oregon State up there and Washington State up in the Pacific Northwest. But as I mentioned, they've gone to TCU, gone to Texas Tech, and they don't have a lot of fear in facing a program like LSU.
So you mentioned how the ballpark's one of your favorites. I want to ask you how it plays because one of our listeners points out that Oregon has 48 homers, Gonzaga has 33 homers, LSU has 80 home runs on the season. So is that something that could favor in this park? Because again, T-Bob and I, we've never been to Eugene. We don't know the park. How does this park play?
Yeah, it's a big park. It plays bigger than it is. It's low humidity kind of a thing. You know how humidity and down here, these pot boiler days just send the ball flying. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be probably like thick pea green soup up there. It's going to feel like so. It's going to be totally different atmosphere. It's not a wild fan base. It's kind of a wine and cheese fan base, and they drink with their pinky out a little bit, but that's good. They still follow the team. Right. They still have Oregon has great. I mean, that's different from the football. Football, you go to a game there and you can't hear yourself.
It's crazy. Yeah, I've been up there. It's great.
Okay, yeah.
It's great.
So it's unbelievable, the decibel level. But here it's going to be a little bit more laid back, but it's definitely going to be just different environment all the way around. This is not an SEC environment, and as I mentioned, park plays really big. Not a lot of home runs are going to be hit out there this week.
Yeah, I mean, look at that crowd in the picture, Danny. Just threw up on the back screen here.
There you
fantastic
go.
Looking.
Nice pick.
All right, how about this then? How do you feel just about LSU's chances? Obviously, they kind of limped into this thing.
Yeah.
Well, they did and they didn't, right? I mean, they finished the season strong to get in, but they were one of the final teams selected.
Yeah, and lightning will probably strike me because I didn't think LSU deserved a shot at it. I'm one of these old school Joe Lunardi type of guys. If you have a losing record in conference, I know the SEC is great, but you had your chance, didn't prove it. But at the same time, I'm glad our friend Paul got in.
Yeah.
I think the thing that it's kind of an intangible. You can't really put this in a scouting report, but if you guys remember 2019, and it's ironic because LSU was a victim of it, Mike Martin had his last chance at Florida State.
That's what I was thinking.
And that team was terrible. They were 60th in the RPI. I mean, unlike LSU's got a good RPI ranking, FSU had no reason to be in the NCAA tournament. And I was actually, as much as I loved Mike Martin, as he's the greatest guy too, I was like, they don't deserve to be in there, but they're in, and now LSU's got this mojo. They got something to play for. So it's kind of like it might be a reverse of the whole Mike Martin Florida State thing. I wouldn't be surprised to see LSU go on a tear because they've got enough talent, you know that, and they've got enough chutzpah to go places. And so I like their puncher's chance at this.
So we'll continue to break things down with Eric Sorensen on the other side of this break. Some excellent insights already into what's be going up this weekend at Eugene. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org today for all of your plumbing needs. Look, man, you call 925-8552. They come out to your home. They fix all your plumbing issues. You do not lift a finger. Simple, complex, it doesn't matter. It's not just residential. If you have a commercial business, you got an entire office building, you need your plumbing needs met. They got the correct insurance, paperwork, and personnel to do so. You one-stop plumbing shop. You already know you want Central Plumbing.
As we know, T-Bob takes full advantage of that 24/7 emergency service. He just gave you the number there, but obviously they do more than just that over at Central Plumbing. Water heaters, that's tankless, or your OG water heaters. Bathroom remodel. Remember, they will come out. That consultation that is free to you, tell you exactly what you need to do to upgrade your bathroom. Of course, all your plumbing needs as well. Again, one-stop shop, Central Plumbing, 24/7 emergency services, 225-925-8552, T.
Go to centralplumbing.org today. Tell them Off the Bench sent you, centralplumbing.org.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford is open for business, and we want to earn your business. Stop in and see our selection of the latest Ford cars and trucks, as well as a variety of quality pre-owned vehicles, with prices starting as low as $5,000. Bayou Ford will get you the transparent information you're looking for, and when you're ready to purchase your new vehicle, provide the professional service you deserve. Located off I-10 on Belterre Boulevard in LaPlace. If you need sales, service, or fleet, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Have a great, safe, healthy Memorial Day weekend, and we'll be back after the holiday. So join us for Tuesday's AFR, 3 to 6. Happy Memorial Day. We'll see you Tuesday. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Off the Bench. T-Bob, Jake, and our guy Eric Sorensen hanging out in studio for the next segment. Again, on Twitter, at @Stitch_head. What does your shirt say, Eric? College baseball?
College baseball today. It's an homage to my defunct college baseball site I had a few years ago.
Hell yeah.
Kyle Peterson brought me on to D1 baseball and paid me so much more. I was like, okay, I'll do that. I'll do that.
Okay. So at the end, we'll let everybody know where you can find all your work and everything. But let's go ahead and dive into this tournament a little bit. So we kind of got the honoring of Coach's retirement out of the way. We talked a little bit about the regional up in Eugene where LSU will be. What about the rest of this field? Obviously, we talk a lot of SEC baseball here for the top 8 national seeds. I mean, the conference is as strong as it's ever been.
Yeah.
Is Arkansas, are they the team to look out for in the SEC, would you say?
Here's the thing about Arkansas, and I got a chance to see them play at Louisiana Tech earlier this season.
Yeah.
They're a great team. Coach Lane Burroughs at Louisiana Tech said, look, they're 1 through 9. Anybody can hit it out of the park. They've got gap power. They've got the potential is there. I mean, their batting average as a team, I think, is only like 270 something. They don't knock you out with great stats. And when I saw them at Louisiana Tech, the first game I saw them play went into extra innings, and Arkansas won on a Jalen Battles home run. And the second game, Arkansas won pretty handily. The third game, Tech won 2-0, held them to 3 hits, or 2 hits actually. So I kind of came away with, okay, well, that was 2 teams that were pretty evenly matched.
Yeah.
But Arkansas goes on and just does great in the SEC. Yeah. And if you do great there, obviously you're a good team, really good team. I wouldn't say if I went to Vegas, I'd put my money on Arkansas. I'm still kind of going back to Vanderbilt with the 2 big studs. It's hard to go against those guys. But this is obviously a year where the SEC is going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, who knows, 5, 6 teams have a legit chance for Omaha. Tennessee's right up there. They can make it's really as strong as it gets. So, yeah, Arkansas is the show pony right now because they're the top national seed, but they're still any one of the top 4 or 5 teams, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Arkansas, any one of those teams really has a legit shot at getting to Omaha and winning the national championship. So I wouldn't say Arkansas is an overwhelming favorite, but they are a really solid team.
I kind of agree with you when you look at Vandy. To have that at the top, have a 1-2 punch, when you get into the postseason, to be able to roll that out there, that to me is always the difference. If you have 2 guys that can dominate a game like Vanderbilt has, then I'm always going to give them the edge over the lineup.
Yeah,
I'm scarred from that UCLA Super Regional, right? With
Colin Bauer,
yeah, Colin Bauer. And that team couldn't hit a lick, and it didn't matter.
It's that, and you can. And Michigan kind of proved it the last College World Series. You have 2 big studs, maybe an ace in the bullpen. You can make it through regional, super regionals, all the way to the second weekend, even as a northern team, which was impressive. So, but yeah, and with Kumar Rocker and Jack Leiter, you have, obviously they're going to be 2 of the top draft picks this coming June, but Kumar's been to the College World Series. He's been all through this postseason.
Yep.
And I'll never forget talking with Tim Corbin. This was last year before everything got shut down. I was kind of like, they came out and played out at USC, and I saw them play, and I was like, so Coach Jack Leiter, is he SEC ready? I mean, he's a freshman. Is he SEC ready? And Tim Corbin's like, oh, no, no pitchers are SEC ready when they get here as freshmen. And all he does is go through the SEC and what? He throw a couple no-hitters, a couple perfect games. I don't know what it was. Yeah. So he's not going to be overwhelmed by the postseason, the moment of the postseason. So yeah, those guys are going to be studs.
So and unfortunately, we kind of saw a lot of that firsthand here this season if you're an LSU fan. So what about outside of the SEC? Who are the power players? Who are you thinking that Tiger fans, just really college baseball fans, should be on the lookout for?
Yeah, I really like Texas. They have 2 good studs led by Ty Madden. He's going to be another top 10 draft pick. Texas got the number 2 seed and rightfully so. I think they're kind of like Oregon. They've always been kind of dink and dunk offense, but all of a sudden they got guys that are like SEC linebackers and can hit the ball out now. I think those 2 teams. One team I really like a lot that is, and we're going back to the Northern thing, is back to Notre Dame again. Notre Dame, and the reason I like them, they went through the ACC, which is always tough, of course. But they're also a team that only lost 1 series weekend the entire year. And when you have that kind of consistency, even if you don't look as getting off the bus, don't look as impressive as some of the other teams, but if you have that kind of a consistency, that says something. That says a lot. And one team I'll give you kind of as a dark horse that is Elliott Avent, the head coach of North Carolina State, told me they got off to a really crappy start. They were like 1-8 in the ACC. And I talked to him after I can't remember who it was. It might have been Florida State. I can't remember who it was they beat. I talked to him after that, and he said, look, I'm going to tell you right now, this is one of my best teams I've ever had. Whoa. We're not playing like it yet. We haven't played like it all season, but if we get back to being healthy and everybody get on board, this could be my best team yet. And they've come on really strong. Them and Duke out of the ACC have come on really strong at the end of the year. So I think those are kind of two seeds to watch for.
I want to ask you about another team that's hosting, Louisiana Tech. You spent a couple of series watching Louisiana Tech, and LSU doesn't get into that regional. And you and I were talking before we came back for the second segment, and probably a good thing the NCAA did because LSU fans would be up in Ruston. And
they'd take over.
This is kind of now, this is Louisiana Tech's time. And they're a good baseball team. LSU has seen them twice. And LSU got the better of them 2 different times and actually put up some big numbers, 16 runs both times. But still, this is a really good Louisiana Tech baseball team. How far can you see the Bulldogs going?
It's tough to say. I saw them that they lost to Old Dominion or Sunday.
I don't even know what day it is. It's fine. It's holiday weekend.
This road
Jake's
trip
been out for like 11 days.
I feel like I've been at Woodstock for a few weeks. Good team. They've also got a lot of moxie, a lot of power in the lineup. Decent pitching, and that atmosphere in Louisiana Tech at the Love Shack in Ruston, man. I was really impressed with it. They're going to be really, I guess as the kids say nowadays, really lit
there you go.
this weekend
Yes,
in
sir.
Ruston. God, I feel old.
Look at Danny
Yeah,
laughing.
so
Danny's like 23.
Yeah, he's like 23.
Yeah.
He is the kid.
You youngins, you have no idea how bad it is at our age. So anyway, my neck and back aching. But Ruston's going to be a lot of fun. The problem is they pulled Alabama and NC State. That NC State we just talked about, team we just talked about. I think they're going to have a tough time coming out of that. And it's great, as we were saying, it's good LSU didn't get sent there and take over the stadium because they probably would have. But Tech, a lot of really rabid fan base. They rebuilt that whole stadium.
Yeah.
I hit my mic. They rebuilt that whole stadium after the tornado, and it's beautiful.
That's what I heard.
And the fans have really started. It's kind of like if you build it, they will come. The fans have just flocked out to see games there now, and it's going to be a really electric atmosphere. It'll be tough for NC State or Alabama to come out of there. I think they can. One of those 2 teams can, but it's going to be a tough atmosphere for them to do that.
Okay, so this is not having anything to do with the NCAA tournament, but it's still very relevant. We have to ask about it, and that is kind of what comes next for LSU whenever this season is done.
Oh, yeah.
They're obviously locally, everybody's going to have their guy right. I don't know how legitimate these are. What are you hearing about these Kevin O'Sullivan rumors, right? I mean, that seems to be the name that a lot of Tiger fans are highlighting. And then his quote was pretty interesting. He basically said, I'm trying to remember the exact words. It was like, look, I can't control what people write, which is like, yeah, okay. But he said,
you can if you want.
He said, I can't control what people write. I'm the head coach of Florida, which is not a denial. So what do you
But as
hear?
we know, Scott Woodward always shoots for, the longest fence away when it comes to hiring coaches, too. So no names off the table.
Right, if you're an AD and you can get a guy who won a national championship, you do that because nobody can fault that hire.
Right.
Because they won an act, right? So, like, what are you hearing about O'Sullivan?
It's he would be kind of like the Kim Mulkey hire.
Yes,
of baseball. But I'm not really hearing a lot, to be honest with you. He's been a little close-lipped about most of it, and rightfully so. They're going in the NCAA tournament and all that.
Absolutely.
But my whole thing is I wouldn't want to leave Florida if I was him because the fans don't care as much there. No disparity. I mean, it's not as rabid of a fan base. They just built this beautiful new facility that might be the best in the country, and he's making good bank there anyway. So it'd be weird for him to take this gig, if you ask me. It's just kind of weird. To be honest with you, I don't know if it's been said much, but if I'm the AD at LSU, I go get Mike Bianco yesterday.
Really?
I think Bianco, because he's a former LSU guy, I know fans probably don't love him because he hadn't won a national title at Ole Miss. He's done well there. He's an alum. He caught for Ben McDonald. He's been successful. I would go after him. I know that Tony Vitello at Tennessee is another hot name. Yep. Cliff Godwin at East Carolina is another, and he's former assistant under Paul. And he's a great dude, too. He's a great coach. It's what you guys are saying is true. It's going to be somebody that's cream of the crop type of guy. But I just don't know if it's going to be O'Sullivan.
Eric Sorensen at Stitch_Head on Twitter.
I do want to ask one more before we let Eric go, and we appreciate him joining us for 2 segments here. Give me the best player in the Eugene Regional.
I would say it's not Kenyon Yovan, the big gun for Oregon, because he's got great power. Like he's got 14 or 15 home runs, again, in a park that's not easy to hit home runs in. And he also, he hasn't done it this year, but I've been so impressed because he was a two-way player the last few years. Great pitcher, great relief guy out of the bullpen, but he's one of these guys. He's kind of all yoked up and everything. You guys are going to see it. He's going to be a big stick to swing for them.
Dude, how good is Trey Morgan now? Pretty good.
If you were talking about
all right, let's include. Let's include LSU players.
Yeah, if you include LSU, I love Trey Morgan. The dude's just dynamic as it gets. So yeah, I mean, Kenyon Jovan's not going to steal 3 bases a game like Morgan's going to do. I love that guy.
He's like a unicorn.
What's that?
He's like a unicorn to be that athletic, to play first base, to steal bags, to bat lead off. I mean, he's got some power if he needs it. I mean, he really is like a unicorn.
Him and Cruz, you just hope there's no transfer portal in their future because of this whole coaching change and all.
Bring in pitching.
But, God, those guys.
Ask them who
else.
they want to be the coach.
Exactly. Eric Sorensen at Stitchhead on Twitter. That's Stitch_head. Eric, where can everybody find your work?
Oh, yeah, at D1 Baseball, usually gets buried under Aaron and Kendall's work, which is much better. But, go to D1 Baseball. You don't really need to go anywhere else. We got all the scoreboards there and everything, especially during this first week of regionals. We got it going on. It's good stuff.
Yeah, so it's going to be a great resource for us as we fall along the country. D1Baseball.com. Thank you so much, Eric. Coming up next, we got our holiday weekend winners here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. As I said earlier, look, if you're looking for a new vehicle, absolutely All-Star's got you back. You want to buy a Toyota certified used vehicle, got you back. You need a rent, they got you, right? But what if you're looking to sell, right? Before you buy a new vehicle, now is the time to sell. And All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge wants to buy your car. We exist in a very odd time where, sometimes you can actually maybe get more than you paid for what you bought the car for originally. So you're going to get a great deal nonetheless. Go check it out. Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
That new inventory that T is talking about, no matter what you're looking for, no matter what your needs are, they can be met over at All-Star Toyota. Sequoia for that full-size SUV. If you're looking for a mid-size SUV, I've told you for a couple of weeks, the 4Runner is plenty big enough for that. The Highlander, they've got trucks, multiple trucks, not just one. They have multiples of everything over at All-Star Toyota. So again, your needs will be met over at All-Star.
Go to All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com today. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with a certified pre-owned vehicle.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At Front to Back, they got not one, but two NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to Front to Back Boat Service.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems faced.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Have a great, safe, healthy Memorial Day weekend, and we'll be back after the holiday. So join us for Tuesday's AFR, 3 to 6. Happy Memorial Day. We'll see you Tuesday. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Tell them we're having a debate. Put me on his radio. Talk about our guy Ryan McGee from Marty McGee. Me and Jake trying to figure out if he's actually a bigger Star Wars or Marvel fan. We're not entirely sure. Welcome back to Off the Bench. T-Bob, Jake, Mario, and Danny all hanging out. I was about to say Musso Mario. I guess I got y'all on the mind. Given that coming up here in a couple of hours, 11 a.m.?
12.
12 to 3, that's right, duh. So 12 to 3, you're going to have middle relief with Musso and Mario. I still don't know if I'm getting the ordering correctly there, but I apologize. But Musso and Mario are going to be taking you 12 to 3. Shout out our guy Mario. Very excited for y'all. That show's going to debut today. Also, I should have mentioned this earlier in the show. I guess it's just like Coach Mainieri and everything else. Another legend on Friday. How kind of fitting that they would almost echo each other in terms of people who've been so much to Baton Rouge lore and sports. But shout out to our guy Hanny, man. I know he's got a big opportunity coming up, and I know he's not going to be completely gone because sometimes life is right. He'll still be doing stuff with Otter, and he'll still be doing LSU post games. Like, that's great. But I was very sad that I was in the car and had to miss Hanny's final segments here on the a daily regular show. Very happy for you and Moose, certainly Mario. But there's a reason why I called Hanny the lore master in Song of Purple and Gold, and it's because he is a legend, and no one knows Baton Rouge sports better than that man.
No, I was able to work with Hanny for really almost a year. It was about 9 months, and it was a highlight for me to be able to do it. And it had to happen because of COVID, so obviously the circumstances to why it happened, obviously we're not a fan of, but I was grateful that I got 9 months with Hanny because – like many people listening to this show right now, he is Baton Rouge radio.
Yes.
Because post game on the way home, and even after I was done playing and I was covering the team, like when I was working for LSU Game Day Live on CST, but I wasn't doing post game yet. Like I would obviously drive back to Shreveport sometimes after games, and I would listen to Hanny. I mean, so throughout my entire life, I've listened to Hanny on post game, and so to get a chance to work with him was fantastic, and I was sad I wasn't able to go to his last show as well, but I talked to him earlier in that day, and I'm glad that we're not totally losing him on the airways. Like post-game Hanny is something that we absolutely have to have, and of course, like you mentioned, you can catch him with Jimmy most nights as well. But it will be sad not to have Hanny on in the midday because we are so used to having Hanny while we're eating our lunch.
Yeah, because they went great together, and while they were eating their lunch, Jimmy. On there. I'm just kidding. But relax, Godfather. You know I love you. Kiss the ring. I'm not trying to come at you. Don't have me, taken care of. All right, right now, let's dive into a holiday edition of our weekend winners. 3-day weekend, boys.
That's how winning is done.
That's right. We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure. We've got too far.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Are you doing what it takes to win a championship?
Wow, winning.
Well, then I guess there's only one thing left to do.
What's that?
Win the whole thing.
What's up, y'all? Okay, my first weekend winner. Very random. This is called just logging on ESPN and seeing a headline that you found impressive. But how about Jacob deGrom? New York's pitcher. So right now, Jacob deGrom, what's today's date? June 1st, has a 0.71 ERA. This is the lowest ERA this late in the season since Chris Shirt of the Philadelphia Phillies in 1964. He's allowed just 4 earned runs in 51 innings this year. He has been unbelievable. 82 Ks, just 7 walks. The last pitcher.
That stat, 82-7. That's
Yeah, it's stupid. And then the last pitcher to actually have a sub-1 ERA through May was all the way back in 2010. So shout out to Jacob deGrom doing some legendary stuff thus far this baseball season.
My weekend winner to Louisiana Tech's baseball program. We talked about them a lot with Eric, and they're hosting a regional at the Love Shack, and our guy Bayou Ben Mintz has been down there plenty of times and reported on it. It's a great ballpark. Obviously, a tornado took out their old ballpark, and not only baseball, I mean, multiple stadiums on Tech's campus, and they bounced back, and they have a hell of a year for them. They're hosting a regional. All attention's going to be on Ruston. They'll be the only team from Louisiana, you know, the big-time team that's there, and LSU's going out west, so it's going to be their stage. And, you know, it's good for a program like Louisiana Tech. This is an opportunity for them to do something really special.
I agree. Marty, what you got?
My first weekend winner is Kawhi Leonard, because there was a lot of Kawhi slander last week. Obviously, they were down 2-0 to the Dallas Mavericks, but they've responded after losing the first 2 games at home. They've taken 2 in a row in Dallas, thanks in large part to Kawhi Leonard. He had 29 points and 10 rebounds in Game 4 last night. In the series, in the last 2 shots, he'd made 24 out of his last 32 shots, and he's putting the clamps on Luka Doncic. The Clippers right back in the series. Kawhi Leonard, the Claw, my first weekend winner.
Yeah, I mean, I know I made a big deal out of them, like, going to Dallas and having to deal with the crowds that work in the Mavs' favor. Crowd juice does work both ways, right? And it seems like the Clips are maybe like, yeah, it's been horrible playing in front of a continuously empty Staples Center, and they stepped up. Danny, who you got?
My weekend winner goes to Jake Paul. So after his whole gotcha hat thing, Floyd was hosting an group interview with multiple people asking questions on an app called Clubhouse. And Jake Paul ends up like
in the clubhouse.
He ends up taking over and going in the interview, and he's like, "Gotcha stage," and everybody can hear him, and everybody sees his picture. And he's like, "My brother's gonna beat your butt, so get off Clubhouse." And he ends up getting kicked off, and it's like everybody like starts retweeting, and it's like goes viral.
Look, I don't know what it is. There's a lot of good heel work going on in real life right now. Jake Paul's becoming one of the great heels. I'm kind of loving Kevin Durant, which is so crazy. I've lambasted Durant so many times on air, but I guess my brain is just broken, and I like that Kevin Durant has completely embraced his role of like, look, I know you all, you know, everybody hated the Warriors move. What do? He went and created another Superman team up in Brooklyn. Like, he's leaning into everything that people hate about him, and now he's extending it again to social media. Weekend loser, I'll jump early on this today. All the old Celtics who are crying about Kyrie stepping on the logo, threatening, like, oh, you're gonna get your ass beat. Like, okay, dude, relax. Like, just go win the games, okay? Just that's the way to get somebody back for stepping on your logo. And after Clint Mickey Davis went on this whole like rant on Instagram, I can't read Durant's response on air, but it was absolutely fantastic. So kind of a hybrid winner-loser in that I'm enjoying the Durant heel personality, and these old Celtics players are being pretty soft.
Well, if we're going weekend losers, Everton loses their manager to Real Madrid. Ancelotti's going to Real Madrid. Everton had this manager that really was probably overqualified for Everton, and now he's gone.
And this is on the heels of them barely missing out on the Europa, you were saying?
It is. And weekend loser. But you know what? It's not to be...
Go blue.
That's expected. I mean, it's no surprise.
Blue through and through, baby. You'll be okay. Hey, you know what? It sounds kind of like you got a case of the blues. Danny, you're or no, Mario, whoever wants to go next, go.
Kind of a Aaron Rodgers situation over there at Real Madrid. Zinedine Zidane leaving under some sketchy circumstances.
Yeah.
So they
they
might be a weekend loser too. But my first formal weekend loser is Dick Vitale. He was traveling.
Always.
He was traveling last Thursday and was not happy with the food that United was serving. He sent the following tweet: "I can't believe that today in our flight flying first class from Orlando to San Francisco, that United has the nerve to serve for breakfast the most pathetic options I have ever seen." A lot of people have Dickie V's back, but a lot of people also think he's making way too big of a deal out of this. So Dick Vitale, weekend loser.
Bruh, chill out. Like, breakfast, like, get it in the airport. Get there early enough. Stop hitting the snooze button, Dickie V.
I mean, you're on an airplane, bro.
What do you
Like,
expect?
What do we expect? Like,
I've always tried to stay away from airplane food. That's just me.
yeah, I don't even mind. It's just it's just food. Like maybe it's like dry powdered eggs or something, but they still go down fine.
Yeah.
Oh, no, ain't no problem. No problem.
Ain't no problem.
Good cheap sausage.
Bruh, there's a reason Central Plumbing's in your phone.
That's
like
true.
the first number.
I could probably
That is a
afford to be a
problem.
little more discerning. Danny, you're up.
My weekend winner goes at the Cruz Azul. After 23 years, they win the Liga MX.
Yep.
With Mexico's soccer league. So shout out, 23-year drought. They win the championship.
Hell yeah, man. Congratulations to Cruz Azul. All right. My next weekend winner, Playboy Marty. Anthony Davis leaves game 4. Series ends up tied 2-2. I believe he is now doubtful for game 5 is the latest that they are saying. They're saying there's a chance he could return for game 6, but all of a sudden the door is wide open for the Phoenix Suns. The series returning to Phoenix, tied 2-2. Probably no Anthony Davis. Playboy Marty, a chance to be right on top of the world. What do you think? Y'all think LeBron can go Superman and carry this thing alone?
Yeah, they'll probably still win the series, but things get a lot more interesting. And even when Anthony Davis was
You said that
healthy,
with a lot of confidence for a series that has now an unhealthy AD and a 2-2 tie.
it's still LeBron, but it's going to be interesting. And even when Anthony Davis was healthy, DeAndre Ayton was still playing him really good. So
we'll see.
Mario's never negative.
I will say this.
by now.
No, I don't know. I don't know
Never
about-
negative.
I don't think I agree with that. Mario actually is like sneaky, like he will stand by his points. I don't know. I feel like me and Mario have already had a few run-ins where we've disagreed on things.
I don't think so.
It's not as much on air.
I think it's a
Maybe-
great personality.
It may be more
I like
off
it.
air.
It's
I
possible.
wish I had it.
yeah, well,
I don't.
we're going to have some debates. Don't worry.
Anyway, what was I going to say? So the Suns are wide open. Oh, look, LA fans, you're kind of learning the full Anthony Davis experience. This is just how it goes.
Kevin Pillar is my next weekend winner, the Mets outfielder who took a 94-mile-per-hour fastball to the face against the Braves less than 2 weeks ago, was back in the outfield for the Mets over the weekend. He had a face shield on, and if you saw the video, he took every stitch of the baseball to the face when he did it. And 94 miles an hour, his nose just basically busted, and you had blood everywhere, double black eyes. He's already back on the field with a gnarly face shield on.
Baseball toughness. There you go.
You'll see it.
You don't see it all the time.
And he spent less time on the ground than LeBron James did when he was cramping,
Okay,
according
LeBron
to that
had-
meme from Facebook.
I did see that. That was really funny.
According to the meme from Facebook, T-Bob, chill out.
Well,
and
John
clarify.
had a horrific eye gouge. It is amazing that he's even playing right now. Y'all need to show some respect.
Are you serious?
No.
Okay, thank God.
Real quick.
I was like, wait, what? I mean, Joe Burrow spent less time on the ground, to the meme that Mario's talking about, less time on the ground. He tore like every ligament you can tear.
Yeah, well, have you ever been poked in the eye?
Yes.
Okay, it
That's the
hurts-
reason I wore a shield in the NFL,
hurts
because I
pretty
got
bad.
poked in the eye, lost the contact in the preseason, and I was like, that can't happen again.
I'm always
So
worried
we're
that maybe
shield.
get my cornea scratched. That'd be terrifying, like a baby hair or something. That's neither here nor there. Danny, here you go.
I'll go real quick since
my
Danny's
bad.
getting ready.
We're all out of
All
order.
good. Real quick, Tyrann Mathieu tweeted on Saturday afternoon that he'll donate another $1 million to LSU if cornerback Darren Stingley wins the Thorpe Award or the Heisman Award, which is much less likely. But Tyrann Mathieu, once again, putting his money where his mouth is, supporting the purple and gold. He is my last weekend winner.
Boom, there you go. I did not realize how long we went. We got to go. We're going to close out hour number 2. We're going to do OTV Mailbag at 9 a.m. if you want to get your questions in. And then we got Jeff Duncan coming on to talk Arch Manning at 9:30. Keep it locked right here.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Advantaclean, advantaclean.com. Look, one call to solve it all. That's what we say over there at Advantaclean. And remember, go ahead and get a plan in place. Okay, it is hurricane season. Don't get taken by surprise. You call 369-5228. They come out there, and for free, for 100% free, they set up a response plan in case of disaster, which means you get back to business quicker. Also, if you ever change anything, that plan is uploaded to the cloud, so you can just change the details therein. Advantaclean.com.
And that's very important, because if you're a business owner, you know how much one missed day can make you miss that much more revenue. That's the last thing you want coming off the pandemic, right? So have a plan in place to make sure you don't miss any days. T-Bob said it. If your business changes a little bit, you can send it to them and uploads to the cloud, like he said, so they're always on top of it. They know your space.
So fire damage, water damage, mold damage, they're open 24/7. One call to solve it all, 369-5228.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Yo, Jacob Hester here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Center, the place that can be at your convenience during those inconvenient times. I know they've been that for me. I've got 4 boys, right? So sometimes stitches happen, and they have 6 convenient locations, one close to you to be able to be convenient for you. Remember, you can also check in online. PatientPlusUC.com is the website. That way you skip the line as well. Patient Plus Urgent Care Center, get in and get better.
I'm feeling good. So good. I just thought you should know.
Bayou Ford is open for business, and we want to earn your business. Stop in and see our selection of the latest Ford cars and trucks, as well as a variety of quality pre-owned vehicles, with prices starting as low as $5,000. Bayou Ford will get you the transparent information you're looking for, and when you're ready to purchase your new vehicle, provide the professional service you deserve. Located off I-10 on Belterre Boulevard in LaPlace. If you need sales, service, or fleet, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Have you been issued a ticket for texting, speeding, or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343-1111 or connect with us online at ocbrown.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Have a great, safe, healthy Memorial Day weekend, and we'll be back after the holiday. So join us for Tuesday's AFR, 3 to 6. Happy Memorial Day. We'll see you Tuesday. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
I mean, what are we talking about? Yeah. Welcome back. So I screwed this up. I screwed up the order of, I lost a thread on what order we were giving our weekend winners in. I went terribly over time.
Just let me know if I need to sub in.
And so now in between commercial breaks, we just are going to talk here for like a minute and then have to go back to commercials. So I apologize to our listeners and viewers. That is completely on me. Stay in the YouTube chat because there's still a lot of fun shenanigans going on in there. My guy Brian Burge is asking where I got this jersey. Jake got it for me. We'll try to get through. I think he got it from LSU. We'll see where you can get a shout out to Brian Burgess longtime military service member. Shout out to all of the people who have served this country. Yesterday was for you. But yeah, I screwed this up. And coming up, we're going to do OTB Mailbag, kick it off, and then Jeff Duncan at 9:30. I'm sorry, boys.
It's okay. We still got a minute left.
Yeah. So talk about something. Mario like that.
Hey, one of the things we didn't get to with Eric Sorensen real quick, LSU has played 27 games against teams that made the NCAA tournament. The team that they face on Friday, Gonzaga, has only played 13. So over double the games that Gonzaga has played. They split with Dallas Baptist. They got crushed by Oregon State 20-4, and then they lose another game to Oregon State. They lost to Oregon already. They lost both games to Texas Tech. They did, however, win 2 of 3 against TCU. But you know what? UL Monroe won 2 of 3 against TCU. So, I mean, we're really putting a feather in the cap for that one.
I also want to give you credit,
kidding.
Jake, because
we love you.
You did not take this from a tweet or anything. You have brute forced this research.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you have gone down the schedule and compared it to the rankings. It looked game by game to compile these numbers. So, nice work. Off the bench, hour 2 in the books, hour 3 coming up. Stick around, going to be fun.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Ochsner.org today, Ochsner.org for all of your healthcare needs, man. Look, they got urgent cares pepper out the city. You want to get vaccinated. That's what we were through Ochsner. Obviously, Pfizer gang, what's up? Look, they have the resources for you, right? What I love about Ochsner are a few things. First off, the facilities will blow you away. I don't care if you're in the North Shore, New Orleans, Baton Rouge. They have heavily invested in giving you the best facilities. But what are the tools without the person to use them, right? And that's where else they've invested, is in getting the best personnel. And so if you have any nagging orthopedic injuries or issues, right, something like a shoulder that's catching a knee, an ankle, a hip, a foot, don't let it become debilitating. Stop putting it off. Also, don't assume that you know the road to your health. Maybe it's surgery, maybe it's not. They have the latest and greatest non-surgical techniques as well. The bottom line, if you want to get back to feeling good again, get that quality of life back, you want to go to Ochsner.org today. That's Ochsner.org.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with the certified pre-owned vehicle.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Tuesday, June 1st. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see thunderstorms with a high of 82. In case you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can now catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. Coming up today on OTBOT, Jeff Duncan of The Athletic joins the show at 9:30 to talk Saints. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN or by subscribing to our YouTube for new content every day. You can also check us out on CST. OTBOT starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Oh, hour number 3 already here on Off the Bench. Nice having the boys back. Show is flying by when everybody's here. T-Bob, Jake, Mario, and Danny hanging out with you again. Middle Relief with Mario Musso coming up noon to 3 today, leading straight into Moscona. Check that show out. And again, huge job by Mario filling in on Friday. And again, thank you to Danny for never going on vacation and always working overtime and doing an incredible job pushing everything online. You're the best, Danny. All right.
Well, like he basically spends his time like in New Orleans when he's not here. So he's basically on a vacation when he's not here.
Well, I mean, New Orleans is great. But I don't.
I was trying.
I don't know. Well, look, on the weekends, but if you're always sleeping at Rhonda's house, how relaxed can you really be when you're always in another person? It's just.
And her kids are.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to sleep in, kids. Come on. Danny's making long noodles for him for breakfast.
Yeah.
Actually, Danny, do you have a breakfast play yet? So, like, obviously, you have a dinner play. I think everybody who's dating probably has a dinner play. Do you have a breakfast play?
No, I don't.
As far as cooking goes?
Not one yet.
Okay.
I'll take suggestions.
Okay, I'm going to say I can get you into the homemade pancake game from scratch. It's very easy. It literally takes like 10 minutes, and people find it impressive if you can just home make your own pancakes. It's not a bad play there, Danny. Great place to start. I still don't know how to cook bacon. I don't. It's crazy.
You don't know how to cook bacon?
I mean, I can make it, right? Obviously, right? Anybody can cook bacon, but I'm talking about consistently elite bacon. I cannot crack the code, and I've tried a million different techniques.
You can't like fry bacon?
I mean, what do you mean? Like, yes, I can, but I don't think that it's never like as consistent. I mean, it always tastes good because it's bacon, and I like bacon crunchy. I like bacon salt. Like I like bacon in all forms. I just don't feel like I cook. If it's like there's levels to everything. I don't feel like I cook particularly good bacon. No. But maybe I just have a more discerning bacon palate than you do, because if I eat your bacon, like maybe I think it was crap. I don't know.
No, my swine's on point.
You want to feed me bacon?
Sure.
I'll let you feed me bacon. I guess I'll have to show up pretty early in the morning, but that's fine. I'll do that. If it means free bacon. Bring the whole family over.
Is bacon only a breakfast item? I feel like it's versatile.
I do like making a BLT.
Yeah.
I absolutely love making
Putting
it
on a burger?
Yes, love it on a burger. I mean, I like a fried egg.
I love anything bacon wrapped.
Bacon wrapped jalapeno with cream cheese. I mean, does it get better, dude? My grandpa, when I was younger, this is probably why my palate got so advanced. When I would spend the night at his house, he would feed me a pound of bacon for breakfast. Nothing else.
Or
no grits, no nothing, just a pound of bacon.
All right.
And he could cook. It wasn't that he couldn't cook. He just knew I loved bacon so much.
After the show, because we want you to stay with us until 10, but after we're done, I want y'all to go to YouTube and type in King Curtis bacon. That was T-Bob when he was younger. Bacon
Curtis
is good for me.
King Curtis is a wife swap legend. If you don't remember wife swap, well, you're probably Danny's age. All right, let's go ahead and dive into another edition of OTB Mailbag.
I have this special delivery for Off the Bench, and look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
A lot of people talking about oven bacon. Certainly that would be the way most consistent. And I have moved to oven steaks. So maybe that's what I need to start exploring. I don't do it. Although Emil's talking about put on a rack. I find when you put on a rack, you lose all of the grease. And I don't particularly like that too much. All right, hashtag OTB mailbag. What game next baseball season will we see the first fire the new coach hashtag? Is it like is it an SEC series loss? Is it the first midweek loss?
Probably the first midweek loss.
Yeah, that would make sense. Even, I mean, well, if we're talking literally, that will absolutely be it. Or maybe like the first time somebody strikes out is a joke. But the first time somebody will truly feel that is legitimate in their heart, yeah, probably first midweek loss for sure. Hashtag OTB mailbag. If you could smash a pie in any national sports analyst or commentator's face other than Vitale, who would it be?
Jeff Van Gundy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Say it with your chest out one time.
He's so
Didn't even give me a chance to answer.
I don't even know, dude. Like, okay, Danny, do you have somebody that jumps out to you off the bat?
No, I don't.
I don't dislike him enough to want to pie his face, but I don't particularly like Chris Webber that much.
Oh,
I
C-Web,
suppose.
okay.
No, but I love C-Web as a player. Like,
Yeah.
I used to love those Kings teams. I'm just a salty Pelicans fan. He just never knew any of the Pelicans players' names whenever he called their games.
Something about Max Kellerman, and not just because he's on TV, but something about Max. I think he needs a pie to the face.
Okay. I mean, if we're throwing radio hosts in, I guess I was thinking
He's on TV as well. He's
no,
like
you're
literally
right.
on
No,
TV.
absolutely. I mean, I would go Cowherd for sure.
Oh, that's a good one.
Which is probably the appeal of Cow. Like, that's what Cowherd wants you to do, though.
He wants you to pie him.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm playing into, or he wants you to want to pie him, right? I'm playing right into his hands.
I'll do Vern Lundquist.
Whoa! No,
Dude, are you
you stay away from Uncle Vern.
Smash a pie?
What?
I'm about to pie
Uncle
you.
Vern's face?
Really?
With his chortles and his ruddy cheeks and his generally good disposition?
It'll
Danny,
be good content.
A great human being.
I will say, I love Gary Danielson. I know a lot of SEC fans would answer this, Gary Danielson. Hashtag OTB mailbag. What non-sporting event would you want Lynn Rollins and Ben McDonald to commentate or narrate?
A barbecue cook-off.
Yeah, I would get a kick out of them. Just like I can only imagine the zingers Lynn would come up with if he was just commentating me, taking care of the kids, right? Like, let's say I had to get him dinner in the bath, and Lynn's out there. Just that would make me very happy.
I don't know. I feel like a barbecue cook-off, like Lynn, and a finger looking good.
Hell yeah, dude. Okay, there we go, dude. That was good. Now we're getting into the now we're both into the Lynn Rollins.
Our Lynn Rollins both kind of sound the same.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, for all the crap you gave me, it did pretty sound familiar. I haven't heard Lynn in a few weeks. I'm not gonna do it right now.
He was on Conference USA. I think he was actually the analyst on the Conference USA calls.
Put him on more LSU games, dude. Come on, man. What about you boys? Anything you'd want him to commentate?
Lynn Rollins, good dude. I'm going to go with Jersey Shore reruns. That would be fun.
Okay, that's like an infinitely better answer than mine.
I'll go a hot dog eating contest, even though it's kind of competitive.
No, look, man, I would. That's also very, look, when you think of kind of like baseball, America, Ben McDonald, Lynn Rollins, all of that, hot dog eating is tied right up in there. Thematically appropriate. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Does Jake have any ambition to be a host someday?
Look, I get to host on SiriusXM all the time.
For years. I love it.
So I get to host on the SEC channel, on ESPNU, and I get it out of my system. That way, when I come and T-Bob stands over the top of me as his co-host,
Cowherd style,
then I'm okay with it.
I want them to raise the level of this side of the desk by 3 or 4 feet.
I will say, one of the first meetings that we had after it was kind of announced that I was going to join off the bench. T-Bob, I don't even know if you remember this. You were like, I'd like to be the host.
Yeah, no, I did say like the main thing is that I wanted to move.
That was like the first thing.
I wanted
was
to move into this seat. That was kind of the one demand that I had. It maybe a bit diva, but that's
what a big diva. I didn't.
Right, we want what we want, right? OTB mailbag. World War I or World War II? And obviously, look, don't be that. We're not being disparaging here, but just in terms of what do you enjoy reading about, learning about, the sacrifice of those and everything?
I think we have a different answer because I'm WW2 and I think you're 1.
I think I am too. I actually have way more experience, I think, reading and learning about 1 than I am 2. And what's the chain of events that led to World War I is just insane, right? Where Archduke Franz Ferdinand gets assassinated, I think in like Austria or Hungary or something, or he gets assassinated, and because of all these weird interlocked treaties and all of this other stuff, like literally the entire world loses its mind, and trench warfare is absolutely horrific. So yeah, I'll go World War I.
I mean, just 2 because there's been so many maybe shows and movies and books written about it, and I have more knowledge of it. Maybe that's one of the bigger reasons, but all of it's fascinating how it kind of all comes together. So I don't think you have a wrong choice here. It's just like going down to the museum in New Orleans. I think we all have those memories of it.
I mean, that museum's unbelievable. What about y'all boys?
Yeah, World War II. I find that really interesting. I told y'all a couple weeks ago I saw a video about kamikaze pilots and how they kind of, train them to do what they're doing. That's crazy to me. So World War II.
World War II.
What was it? Also, World War II is also like, you had a legitimate evil bad guy, right? Like you don't run into that in real life too often. So the lines of like who's good and who's bad are very much clearer then. Hashtag OTB mailbag. If you go on the best tour of anything in the world, so you're getting the best tour of like anything in the world, what would it be? I have an answer off the bat. Well, it's kind of twofold. Okay, I would love to go to like the most top secret military facility and tour that. If I have to be more specific though, if I like can't answer, I would not do that, because I don't want to say like Area 51 only for that not to really be the spot, right? Like we know too much about it. Yeah. That's not the spot. Like you want the secret place that only a few people know about. So if I have to name it, I'm going to keep it simple. I would just love to go on the best tour possible at, I guess like the Coliseum probably in Rome.
That's a good one, because my mind, like right off the bat, went to like a battle land, like a battleground of somewhere where like we all know the story of how it happened and who was the hero and all those type of things. But like to actually be there and to see it and to have someone that has this knowledge of, they can, point out every single space and this is where this happened, and this is where this happened. That to me has always been interesting.
Apparently there's like a secret society at all Walt Disney's parks called Club 33, where like the world's elites, and they're all inside the castles at each park. So like the world's elites or whoever can afford this, because it's apparently very few people can apparently tour the castle. So I think I would do that.
Mara, this sports conspiracy segment you're working on needs to come sooner rather than later, because I am loving this. Now I'm gonna have to Google this. Club 33. Hell, dude. Danny, what you got?
I would go on a tour of like all the volcanoes in Iceland. I think Iceland's super cool as far as geography and everything.
Okay. Hell yeah, dude. That is not what I expected to hear when I woke up this morning.
No. But like Mark says, Normandy Beach, like to have someone like kind of lay all of that out for you.
Well, okay. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying like that to me would be fascinating.
I just got to give one of my best friends out here a shout out. My girl, Sarah Kirksey, literally runs those tours for the World War II Museum. So if you want to go do that, like they can bring you through all of that. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Let's see which one I like most here. How much? If you had all the resources, time, and land available to build whatever you want, like a house, park, a monument, blah, 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 you can build whatever you want, what would you build? Not the most ambitious. I would still love to build one of those fake waves in my backyard. Always talked about it. I mean, it would be unbelievable if I could just go like fake surfing every day.
Dude, I think a lazy river.
Hell yeah.
Like a lazy river around your house where you just get in an inner tube and you just float with your AirPods in.
Yeah.
Listening to whatever you want.
So you are the LSU students, because that's what they did with that money a few years ago. Earmarking it for that sick lazy. Did y'all ever ride in the LSU student lazy river?
I did not.
I never did,
unfortunately.
Is it illegal or weird for me to show up and now ride in the lazy river at 32?
I don't think anybody will.
You're in love.
All right, hell yeah, dude.
I've only seen like one person like floating in that river before.
What?
When I was there, I did.
People like times have changed, because Matt Flynn would have lived in the lazy river if it was there back in the early 2000s.
When I was a little kid and we go to water parks, my uncle used to clown me because like I'd just bring a book and I'd hop in the lazy river and you wouldn't see me for 4 hours. Just be big chilling.
I do like this one, T-Bob.
Yeah.
What sporting event from the past would you go back to attend?
Ooh, okay.
So you can't be alive when it happened. Let's take that out of
it. I'm okay. Let me think.
Earthquake game for me.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't alive for that. That would have been legendary. I mean,
when U.S. beat Russia, Miracle on Ice.
Okay. Danny, what you got?
I can't even think.
I got no idea why.
Good answer.
So you know how sometimes something jumps in your head and you can't shake it? Going back to one of Seabiscuit's favorite races. I don't know why. That's just stuck in my head right now. Like when horse racing was in its prime, maybe, and everybody really cared about. I don't know if that's in the 30s or something like that, but yeah, I guess that's where I would.
I go to the Miracle on Ice because one of the things about football that I don't like, one of the very few things, is you can't represent your country.
Yeah,
I've always being able to represent your country and to play we are the champions, and to actually mean we're the champions of the world, and to be able to wear the stars and stripes in the Olympics or something. That's something that our sport will never have.
Yeah.
Right. And we played it at a high level, but you never had the chance to represent your country. So it will always be a USA event when I get asked that question.
Shout out to Coach Mainieri, who talked about a lot of the same feelings and how proud he was to get to be coach of Team USA.
Wait, I got my choice. 1995 Rugby World Cup, South Africa versus New Zealand.
Is that Invictus?
Yeah, Invictus.
Oh, okay. Hell
Historic
yeah,
event.
dude. Historic event.
Definitely liberated the country of South Africa.
Yeah, exactly. Nelson Mandela, all the different threads. Actually, a pretty good movie as well. All right, that is OTB Mailbag. Coming up next, got more off the bench. And then Jeff Duncan at 9:30. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
OTB OT.
Uh-oh. Go to AccuTempBR.com, AccuTempBR.com. Hope you took advantage of the Tiger tune-up deal while it was available. We'll continue to get you the latest deals from AccuTemp. But remember, when you're talking about all of your AC, heating, and electrical needs, AccuTemp is the best. And don't take my word for it. Take the thousands of people that have reviewed them online. Take the fact that they're carrying a 4.9 Google rating with over, I think it's 13 or 1,400 Google reviews alone. Look, they are the best. Go to AccuTempBR.com today.
When we talk about their service and their service to the highest degree, and T-Bob gives you the rating, when you go to AccuTempBR.com, you can pull up ratings from multiple places. So it's not just one place. I mean, it's Facebook, it's Google, it's multiple places, and it's got it broken down into who the tech was. It gives you a review on the tech. They are transparent. You're going to get the highest service because they value that over at AccuTemp.
That's right, AccuTempBR.com, AccuTempBR.com.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Have you been arrested for DUI or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343-1111 or connect with us online at ocbrown.com.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, Hanging with Hanny. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
This isn't just another day, it's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At Front to Back, they got not one, but 2 NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to Front to Back Boat Service.
Bayou Ford is open for business, and we want to earn your business. Stop in and see our selection of the latest Ford cars and trucks, as well as a variety of quality pre-owned vehicles, with prices starting as low as $5,000. Bayou Ford will get you the transparent information you're looking for, and when you're ready to purchase your new vehicle, provide the professional service you deserve. Located off I-10 on Belterre Boulevard in LaPlace. If you need...
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Have a great, safe, healthy Memorial Day weekend, and we'll be back after the holiday. So join us for Tuesday's AFR, 3 to 6. Happy Memorial Day. We'll see you Tuesday. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
You don't make the rules no more. I'm tired of your rules. Welcome back to OTB OT. Talking a little King Curtis in the break. The show right now. The boys are accusing me of being an adult version of King Curtis. I disagree. Let me know when we have this clip ready to go, and we can dive into it. Other things we want to get to this segment before we get to Jeff Duncan and Arch Manning coming up at 9:30. Recruit showing up today, Jake. June 1st, recruiting is back open. Unofficial visits, 15 unofficial visitors. But those are the new guys, the old new guys, the freshmen that have now reported. Interesting answer earlier when we asked O about guys that have jumped out so far. He went almost like all receiver when answering about the freshman class. Who's impressed him?
I think he did go all receiver. And he kind of went down the list, and he's probably, seeing out the window maybe of a 7-on-7 or something that's taken place. And it is a very impressive group. And it was probably the biggest grab there in recruiting was who they were able to get at the same position. And that's highly rated guys. That's guys that dominated the state, like a Jack Besh, who was the player of the year, right? He wasn't as highly recruited or, as highly rated, I should say, as the other guys. But he absolutely tore up Louisiana high school football, and expecting big things from him. And so that's a group that's very interesting to me because you're looking for someone to take over a couple of spots there. Like we know Kayshawn's number one.
Yep.
And we know there's some candidates to take over 2 and 3, but who is that? I think it's wide open. I truly do. And in the day and age of 7-on-7 and getting all the exposure to different coverages and things that they do when they go to all of these tournaments with their team, with the bootleggers or whoever it might be, you can play at receiver, as we saw Kayshawn do last year as a freshman, way easier than you could, 5-10 years ago. So, which one of those guys can take over? Like Chris Hilton came out of his mouth really quick, right? So that's someone that obviously has impressed them. He's been on the scene since he was a sophomore at Zachary, winning state championship games against West Monroe. So as someone we know, he's highly, highly talented. I think one of those freshman receivers, and Jack Besh might actually end up being a tight end, but I think one of the freshman receivers can take over that number 3 spot and eventually maybe even work their way to being the number 2 option on this team.
Yeah, I mean, look, you mentioned Besh and tight end. I think that's the thing to watch there because there's a hole at tight end right now, and I don't think Rick Gilbert's going to fill that hole. I told you the other day, I think it's more likely than not that it doesn't happen. Not to say that it can happen. And then Cole Taylor, I'm excited for Cole Taylor, but I have no great reason to feel like much better about him than Jack Besh beyond just maybe like an extra year of seasoning.
Look, they're different. Like Cole Taylor is going to be your Y tight end. A Y and an F are completely different. But you need both of them if you're going to run tight ends. And when you have a guy like Jake Peets who's coming over from the NFL, you're probably going to see more 12 personnel than you saw in the years past. That's just because the NFL likes to run 12 personnel with 2 tight ends. Not to say you're going to specialize in it, but you will see more of it. And every team that has like a really good F tight end typically has a really good Y tight end to go along, because he does the things that the F can't do and the F does the things the Y can't do. When I was playing with Antonio Gates, like Gates was fantastic. I mean, he's one of the best to ever do it at the F position. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but we had a Y tight end and Randy McMichael that did all the dirty work. Right? Randy was the guy who lined up at fullback sometimes. He lined up at H-back. He did all the pass protection. He did all the things that Gates didn't do.
Gates didn't want to pass protect?
What
the hell, dude?
Wasn't real interested in it because he's one of the best pass catchers
if you leave
of all
Antonio
time.
Gates
Exactly.
pass protect.
So Randy McMichael wasn't the star that Gates was, but he was as important to our offense as anybody was. Like Randy made our offense go. Like he was involved in so many crucial things that we did. And so you can have that situation with the Cole Taylor and with the Jack Betts, because the same thing with Jack. Like Jack's a receiver who dominated high school. He's not going to have his hand in the dirt blocking defensive ends. That's not where he's going to be at his best. But he can line up in the slot. He can motion and maybe like cut off the backside on a zone runner, those type of things, which is what you ask an F to do.
I wonder. I feel like he's pretty big though.
He's a big. He is big,
thicker than Cole Taylor. So like, does he become more of a blocker? I mean, he can do both. Maybe that's a great part. But does that mean Nick Storrs is really the best blocking tight end? I mean, I guess we don't have enough eyes on Nick Storrs to know.
Giant, by the way.
But he's a giant. That's what I'm saying. Like body wise, like he has the best look for that. Are we good on the clip, boys? King Curtis. Okay. Answer the question. Poll question of the day. Am I a grown-up version? I'm sorry. Am I a grown-up version of King Curtis?
I need me in the kitchen to feel these. Definitely no cheating.
No, you turned down my mic, I think, by accident. All right.
I thought that's what was making it do that, but it's not.
Okay, well, that's fine. We'll just scratch that bit. That's good. It's all good. We don't need to worry about that anymore.
Crinkle
We'll
it
come
up
up with a different poll question.
Throw it trash.
Okay, coming up next, though, Jeff Duncan wrote a banger of an article on The Athletic today, theathletic.com. You know I love The Athletic. I love Jeff Duncan's work. Nobody knows like Louisiana sport, maybe New Orleans more specifically, but he's been at it he's one of the legends in journalism. And the headline of the article is Arch Managed Recruiting is wide open. And so on a day like today, where it's June 1st and we're bringing in the new class, I think that it's only appropriate then that we talk to Duncan about maybe the future of LSU recruiting. Bill says, what in the world? Jacob says, chicken nuggets is family. I know. I love Curtis as well. All right. When we get back, Jeff Duncan, keep it locked right here on like Louisiana.
OTB.
He's been at it.
Go
to the relaxationcompany.org. The headline of the article is Arch Managed Recruiting is wide open. So whoa, Danny, look at the video. Yes, and we're bringing in the new class.
Okay, this is our first time seeing it.
We had a great time though going out there, filming this, getting massages, learning what the relaxation company is all about.
What in the world?
And what it's about is you.
Chicken nuggets
and they're out there
family.
Pelham County, Gonzales. Excellent location. All right, when we get back, Jeff Duncan, keep it locked right here on 90 Minutes.
OTB.
And it's a local business, a family business, and the culmination of a live stream. And yes, that is Jacob Hester's back there. You're going to check out there. Danny, that's an intimate shot there. Nice work.
Yeah, good job, Danny. You're also going to get a good job when you go out to the Relaxation Company. Outstanding people. Relaxationcompany.org for a full list of services. They do it all. If you've heard of it, they do it over at the Relaxation Company.
Go to the relaxationcompany.org today. You will feel incredible. Treat yourself with the Relaxation Company.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
What if you could truly energize your body and mind from the most fundamental level? Your cells. Cellivate is a revolutionary health-aware approach to energy, focus, and mood enhancement, packing everything you need to optimize your mind and body from the inside out. The unique formula combines top-notch cellular energizers, nootropics, herbal extracts, and powerful antioxidants, all in one sugar-free 12-ounce can. Elevate your cells. Cellivate.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help. and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Have a great, safe, healthy Memorial Day weekend, and we'll be back after the holiday. So join us for Tuesday's AFR, 3 to 6. Happy Memorial Day. We'll see you Tuesday. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
What up, y'all? Welcome back off the bench. T-Bob, Jake, Mario, and Danny hanging out with you. And right now, it's my pleasure to go to my guy Jeff Duncan from The Athletic at Jeff Duncan _ on Twitter. Of course, as I said, Jeff writes for The Athletic. Sign up for The Athletic today. It's no ads. It's awesome, dude. It's so worth it. Great sports writers, one and all for like any team or league you're interested in. And Jeff's latest article is one that he's written about a couple of times now. But a headline that flies in the face of some of the recent talk surrounding Arch Manning, as the headline reads, according to Arch Manning, I'm wide open. And this comes on the heels, I felt like a couple of weeks ago, where people were like, there's no way LSU's even in the mix, and he announced visit lists of other schools. Let's go to the phone lines with Jeff right now. Jeff, what's going on, man? Thank you for joining us.
T-Bob, doing good, man. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Okay, so there's a few different places that I could start, but I want to bring me back to where you start, which is back in June 2019, where I don't believe Arch Manning was even in high school yet, and you describe the beginning of a massive push from LSU to maybe land this Manning. What? Here's the question: what was it like, or how? Like, how advanced, how proactive is LSU trying to be in landing what is a Louisiana legend and his family?
Well, yeah, and I think that's that scene was kind of illustrative of just how all in LSU is on Arch. That was, like you said, the summer of 2019, before Arch had even become a ninth grader at Newman, and the LSU coaching staff, the entire offensive coaching staff, Steve Ensminger, Joe Brady, Mickey Joseph, Ed Orgeron himself, Joe Burrow, all came out to this 7-on-7 camp, which is not really the elite camp that LSU puts on. That's kind of a little bit of a lesser camp as far as prospects go. So the fact that they sent their entire offensive staff out there, sort of a welcome wagon, if you will, to greet the Mannings. Cooper and Ellen were there, and Archie and Olivia watching the 7-on-7 camp, I think was indicative of just how much emphasis they were putting on. Let's face it, guys, that doesn't happen with every prospect out there, and I think it showed immediately to the Mannings how serious LSU was.
And the Mannings are just so intriguing already, but you have all the sons and now grandsons that grow up in Louisiana, and it is kind of funny that we just assume that they're not going to even look at LSU because Archie and Peyton and Eli, we've been given too many examples that they're not going to look at LSU. But just from the outside looking in, Jeff, this does feel like it's a little bit different in the fact that it's going to be, a lot of his own decision.
Yeah, Jacob, I think the way I would describe him being wide open is I think he's probably narrowed it down to about 15 schools, and most of those are mentioned in the story. But among those 15, I think he truly is wide open. So while if you're just trying to get into the game now, you're not going to probably get into that recruitment. But of the schools he's considering, I don't think a favorite is emerged because they haven't gotten that far in the process yet. As they mentioned, they've not visited the schools. He's been to LSU a few times. He knows LSU campus. So I wouldn't read in anything, if you're an LSU fan, into the fact that he's not going there this month. This month is about going to schools that he hasn't seen. Because of the pandemic, they weren't allowed to travel all last year. He couldn't get out and get to these campuses. So Ole Miss, for instance, he's not going to go visit there. He's been there a number of times too. So I really think LSU is squarely in the mix here. And I do think, and I mentioned this in the story, I think it's going to be very important this year how the offense performs, how the quarterbacks perform. They're going to have their eyes on all of these offensive systems. Say, for instance, Steve Sarkisian in Texas. They're going to be watching the Longhorns and see how their offense operates. So I think there's a lot of pressure. Obviously, it's about more than just one recruit, but a lot of pressure on LSU this year offensively to show that they are back in the Joe Brady type offensive system as opposed to what we saw a year ago, although they were fairly productive last year as well.
Yeah, they were. It felt a little stagnant. I think it's a weird thing to kind of try to parse through. Jeff, what about this? Before we turn maybe back to Arch himself, because we do talk so much LSU here, not even from an on-field perspective, right? From a symbolic perspective, what would it mean for his tenure if he were to land a Manning at LSU?
I think it would be easily the biggest recruit of his tenure. Just like, as you mentioned, it goes beyond the fact that Arch Manning's a tremendous football player. What you get with a Manning is you get a brand. You get football royalty, and the cachet of having him playing on Saturdays. You can see it right now, right, guys? I mean, you can see CBS panning up to a suite at Tiger Stadium, and Archie and Olivia and Peyton and Eli are all there watching the games. They probably get interviews with them. I mean, it would take LSU football to another level, and I think symbolically it would illustrate that they can recruit on a national level for the quarterback position. They've been able to do that in most other positions. I think Joe Burrow was a bit of a game changer, but quarterback-wise, I think it takes them to another level because even though he's in New Orleans and right down the road, he is a national recruit. It's almost like you're getting a guy from L.A. if you get Arch Manning.
It doesn't hurt either, Jeff, that you've got a couple of guys from Newman already committed to the same class, that he will be in as well. LSU doing a little strategic planning as well, it seems like.
Very much so. Both those guys are very close with Arch. I mean, they do a lot of things together. I think both of them are excellent players in their own right, certainly worthy of scholarships at LSU. And it'll be really interesting, guys, to see if LSU offers Will Randall, the tight end, because he is Arch's best friend and is also in the same class. A.J. Johnson and Bo Bordelon are a year older. But that also will help if those guys have good experiences their freshman year, I guarantee you Arch is going to be picking their brains about what it's like there. So, again, LSU, another sign going all in and doing everything they can to get Manning down there.
Talking to Jeff Duncan, writes for The Athletic. It's just an absolute legend in the sports writing game, at Jeff Duncan _, on Twitter. Jeff, now give us the kind of art side of the perspective here where, it's interesting because not only just does he have this incredible kind of burden of expectation to live up to, but it looks like he's really validating a lot of the expectation with how he is projecting and how he's playing. But then also, he's got to look around and make decisions. If you look at the LSU quarterback room in a couple of years, it's going to look really nice, we think, at least with the kind of commits and guys you have lined up with Nussmeier and Howard and whatnot. How is Arch and the Mannings, how are they kind of parsing through all of this?
Well, I think they're trying to weigh a lot of different factors. And as you know, the Mannings are very thorough. So they're going to have a top-to-bottom evaluation of every program that is in the mix. And it's going to involve, an audit of basically the football operations, how the coaches prepare quarterbacks. I know the Mannings are tapping into all of their NFL contacts, talking to offensive coordinators at the NFL level to find out how prepared some of these schools' quarterbacks are when they get to the NFL. That's how far down the road they're thinking. So there's going to be a lot of that involved. There's going to be, I think, a lot of just the personality of the head coach and how he and Arch connect, as well as the offensive coordinator. And in that regard, I think LSU is very strong. I know Arch likes Coach O a lot. I know he likes Jake Peetz a lot and DJ Mangus a lot. So that area, I think, is very strong for LSU in particular. But it's going to come down to, I think, a comfort level and a fit. And I think he's also going to want a nice campus experience. It reminds me a little bit, guys, of when I did this story on Zion Williamson and why he ended up picking Duke. I mean, he obviously knew he was going to end up, in the NBA after 1 year, but he wanted that 1 year of college to be a great college experience. He could have gone anywhere, obviously, and he wanted to go somewhere that was going to have a cool vibe. And obviously, Duke has a great program right close to Spartanburg. It reminds me a little of that. He wants everything, and I'm not sure he's going to find everything, but he's going to try and get as close to it as he can.
Jeff, throughout the show, we've been talking about LSU probably missing out more than any other college on recruiting things that they possibly could have had during the pandemic because of the new facility, because of all the new trophies. Having the number 1 pick in Joe Burrow, that's none of that stuff is something that you could capitalize off of, and you still had a top 5 recruiting class. And so LSU right now, I think you could argue, is as hot as anyone considering what they weren't even able to recruit off of from a year ago. Now it opening back up today, I've got to assume LSU is going to be right there in those top classes. So all things are going in the right direction to try to get any prospect in Louisiana.
Yeah, look, they've got obviously Max Johnson there. You got Garrett Nussmeier, both sons of NFL quarterbacks. You got Walker Howard on the way, another elite prospect who's a legacy recruit, a top quarterback prospect. I think the momentum is going in the right direction, and I think Arch Manning takes it to another level. I mean, the star power of Arch Manning, the name recognition, I just don't think we've ever seen a recruitment like this. I'll tell you what was interesting, guys, and it'd be interesting to get your thoughts on this, but one of my editors asked me, well, what's the biggest college football recruitment that this would be compared to? And I really couldn't come up with one. It's weird. College football doesn't seem like it's had a big national recruitment in a while. And I was trying to pick my brain, maybe Jadeveon Clowney, but he's a defensive player. It's not quite the same as a quarterback with that last name. I think this might be the biggest, most anticipated recruitment in the history of college football. I know that's a big statement, but it feels that way to me.
Well, I mean, it's a great point because Clowney's really the only name that's probably to the fore here. But even beyond that, it would make sense for him to be an unprecedented recruit, Jeff, because it's an unprecedented family setup, right? Who else has an MVP father, both Super Bowl MVP sons, 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks? It's just you've never seen that sort of lineage to that extent, especially not at that position.
And in the social media era of 24/7 coverage. I mean, Archie pointed out to me when Peyton was being recruited, they didn't even go on visits and anything until like maybe November or December before signing date in February. It's just changed dramatically, and he was mainly getting letters and a few phone calls. There was none of this, social media craze that we have today, and I think that just amplifies everything to another level.
Jeff Duncan, at Jeff Duncan _ on Twitter. If you want to check out the article, it is on theathletic.com. Go ahead and sign up for The Athletic. It's so worth it. And really, it's any team or sport that you're into. They've hired the most talented writers. No ads or anything either. Jeff, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys, and thanks for your contributions to the story, too. Just a little plug for you all, both in that story. Really helped add depth to it. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, we are quoted in it, so it's a little self-serving. All of this has been. But thank you, Jeff, man. You have a great day. And when we get back, close out with Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Coors Light. So stay right here on OTB.
OTB, OT. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana Products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana Barbecue Sauce, Louisiana Molasses Mustard, Spicy and Sweet Barbecue Rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service. HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At front to back, they got not one, but two NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to front to back boat service.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help. and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Have you been arrested for DUI or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Have a great, safe, healthy Memorial Day weekend, and we'll be back after the holiday. So join us for Tuesday's AFR, 3 to 6. Happy Memorial Day. We'll see you Tuesday. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
All right, welcome back to OTB. I'm taking a seat for this last segment. Go to, it feels good. Ask the Bench, brought to you by
Cool Coors Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, Blue Moon, Light Sky, Citrus Sweet, which was had many times in PCB. In case you're wondering.
Dude. Very tasty. Hashtag Ask the Bench. When Arch Manning commits to Saban, how big will the meltdown be?
I think that's one place that he's not going to go. The Mannings and Coach Saban's personality don't seem like they would gel great together.
I think I would be a little surprised as well.
Yeah. More Dabo than Saban.
But I don't know if you ever... Yes, Dabo would seem like a very reasonable landing spot there. But the meltdown would be massive. I mean, obviously, it would be
Do
like...
you think I don't think any LSU fan has very high hopes.
That's
of Arch
fair.
coming.
It's not. A lot of people have been mentioning Joe McKnight, and that's actually probably a great answer to Jeff's question that he posed to us. And also, I know that was a really big meltdown when Joe left. Hashtag Ask the Bench. What do y'all think about June bugs?
They're bugs.
Yeah, I don't really mind them.
All right,
I think it's interesting when you got a ton of them all out at once. And there's all banging and everything, but I don't think about it much beyond that. Hashtag Ask the Bench. What adult purchase have you made recently that made you super happy? I got a great pair of boots at Christmas, and that's been fantastic. Like dealing with mud and everything else. I never really had like a good pair of like work boots that I could go out.
The ones you brought here?
Yeah, the extra toughs that I was wearing during the rainstorms. Yeah, those things are awesome, dude.
This is gonna sound nerdy, but I bought equipment where I can do shows from home and also do recorded spots from my house, so I don't have to come in studio.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And it is a game changer.
Anything from yours?
Oh, I got wireless headphones recently. Feel like I was way behind on that, but that's been very helpful.
They're incredible. They're the absolute best. Hashtag Ask the Bench. Zeppelin or the Stones?
Stones.
Led Zeppelin.
Rolling Stones.
Zeppelin.
Oh, I'm Rolling Stones. That's pretty good there, Mario.
Okay.
What about you, Danny?
Zeppelin.
Okay. Yeah, better taste from you there, Danny. I agree. Hashtag Ask the Bench. Favorite smells?
Rain.
Okay, absolutely.
I love the smell of a good afternoon rain.
I love a Bradford pear tree. You know this.
Gasoline. Oh, smells good.
Whoa, I kind of feel him on that, dude. A lot of nostalgic ties to gas, right? It reminds you of like the lake and stuff like that.
Annie Ann's when you walk into the mall.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Subway.
Yeah.
The movies.
Subway.
Love the smell of Subway.
Wow.
The smell of movies. Theaters.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Dude. When that buttered popcorn hits you, that's a Pavlovian. Just start to.
I don't ever want to hear that sound again.
The smell of beer and rubber combined with cigarettes in the Superdome is also pretty pleasing to me. Means it's football season.
That Superdome stench. Hashtag Ask the Bench. If you were Phillip Rivers, what style of high school coach would you be?
I am very curious because we passed Fairhope where he's going to be coaching a couple times, obviously going to the beach, and I thought about that. I'm like, what's he going to do? Is he going to like spread it out and do everything that every other high school is doing, or is he going to be like, hey, we're running 12, 21, 22, 20 personnel. Give me a tight end and a fullback, Bo.
I know he's going to preach special teams because of that year you guys were number one in offense, number one in defense.
And dead ass last in special teams.
Third phase of the game, boys. I don't know. I mean, I would not be I don't think I have it in me to be like an MFer. I'd probably like.
Well, we know he's not going to be that.
I'd be like more of the support guy. Well, I mean, not even from a cursing standpoint. From like a I think I'd be more like building up probably. Danny, you got anything here?
You would definitely be that.
Yeah.
No other question.
No, I don't got anything.
Hashtag Ask the Bench, favorite Axe spray.
Axe Apollo.
I am a grown adult that doesn't use Axe spray.
I vividly remember in middle school the Apollo commercial when they were on the moon. And like I was like convinced I was gonna get like all the chicks.
I vividly remember double pitch to Chesty. And now we call it double pitch to Hesty. Shout out our guy with J-Boy from the J-Boy podcast over there at Auburn. But yeah, I'm with you, Danny. I don't remember the flavor names, but like I definitely thought it was going to help me get all the girls.
There's also like a chocolate flavor. I remember that flavor.
That sounds horrible.
Oh,
that sounds like science gone.
Did you have
a
a go-to cologne tea like growing up? Like was a go-to?
Yes. There was Abercrombie & Fitch, but no, I
had Lucky Brand.
It was always a Polo Blue. This
Polo Blue is big.
bottle.
Was it Clearwater or something? Like something Clearwater?
I don't know.
My dad wore Obsession by Calvin Klein. I remember that.
The Hollister cologne.
Sometimes he went a little too heavy before we went to church.
Rivers texted in said, I've never heard Danny as excited as he just was to talk about Axe body spray. Y'all have a great day.
I do not wear
We'll
it.
see you on the
I do not wear it.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified